needing one thing. Don't need the jewels and the pearls and all the things in between. I need a lot of your time, and I be needing attention. Need that next level love, boy, you know I'm feeling ascension. I'm feeling ascension. I see what we're missing. Put some clothes on, baby, can we go to a dinner? Let's go to a movie for just us two. Let's make new memories between me and you. Heels, check. Beat, check. Run up the check, baby, tell me what's next. Hey, love, check. Fun, check. One-on-one, baby, we needed this. It's a day night. Get dressed, let's get dressed, let's. It's a day night. No stress, no. No stress, no. It's a day night. Get dressed, let's get dressed, let's. It's a day night. No stress, no. No stress, no. Know you needed my time, and I'm needing you too. Fly me out to dinner, reservation for two. I can't even deny, I ain't even gon' lie, that you really got my heart. Tonight it's a whole vibe. Tonight it's about us, riding round Billy truck. Know they faces is stuck, unconditional love. Tonight we gon' make some memories, ain't thinking about our enemies. Pop out and we make a scene and drop about 300 beans. Heels, check. Beat, check. Run up the check, baby, tell me what's next. Hey, love, check. Fun, check. One-on-one, baby, we needed this. It's a day night. Get dressed, let's get dressed, let's. It's a day night. No stress, no. No stress, no. It's a day night. Get dressed, let's get dressed, let's. It's a day night. No stress, no. No stress, no.
All right, y'all heard them. It's a date night. Let's go. All right. What's up, y'all? We are
What
back.
up, y'all?
Yes, it is Thursday, and y'all know what this is. It is episode 48 of the Live Ladies Podcast. See what I'm saying?
Hey.
I'm catching a little feedback off of you. Let me just make the introduction. I got you. Yeah, it's all right. All right, yeah, right. So, ladies and gents, we so glad to have y'all back. We are in for a great show. Now, is it a trigger warning? I don't know. It could be. You know what I'm saying? It could be, you know. But, you know, we hope that, we can help some folks out. You know what I'm saying? We get some folks together. Hey. We might even hear wedding bells after this show. We don't know. Right? So, like we always do, we like to welcome everybody in. So, I have my queen to the side of me, Ruby Doll, beautiful Ruby Doll. Could you please introduce yourself and tell them where they can find and support you at, queen?
What's up, Evolution? Looking so sexy over there. What's up, everybody in the chat and everybody that's going to get this on the replay and everybody that's just observing right now. My name is Ruby Doll. I do a lot of different things. I make some really good cookies. And I also have a podcast. It's called Motherhood Sex Marijuana. We got the .com on that, baby boo. So go ahead and hit us up. Let's get prepped for our 9th season. We just some like cool ass stoner moms that love to be freaky, and we also love to collaborate with great minds while we lift it. So what's not to like? What's up, everybody? I just want to shout out my homie right now, Mr. Iman Brown. I love you. And I want to shout out everybody. What's up, Wilson? What's up, everybody?
What's up, man? What's up? Thank you, Jenna, for being in the room. You know what I'm saying? Please, like we say, support all the queens, all the kings that come up here. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all support me. I so appreciate y'all. You know. Now, you know, I am, if y'all don't know, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's your first time watching, you watch it on the replay. You know who know? I am your girl, Evolution Brooklyn. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can find me on every social media site. as Evolution Era Media, all one word except for YouTube. Y'all know it's Evolution Era Media, 3 words. Also, Facebook, okay, my Facebook people watching me over there. It is Destiny with 2 E's. Evolution Brooklyn, all one word. And then Jae, all right, because y'all know I'm Destiny J, you know what I'm saying? And Twitter, what they call X now, you know what I'm saying? Over there, I'm UniqStarEnt, that is UniqStarBrand, all right? Now, if y'all want to check out some of the products, I got some of the merch we got, you know what I'm saying, that I'm putting out. Every day I put some new stuff out. Y'all can go to my brand new website. All right. You know what I'm saying? Finally got the website up and running. You know what I'm saying? That is, it is, y'all know how to do it. www.uniqstarbrand.com. Right. So that is UniqStarBrand.com. You know what I'm saying? Go check out some of the stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get everything popping. We got a lot of new stuff coming. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to get it to y'all. And some of y'all members, I'm going to send y'all some free stuff for y'all to, have. Also some stuff for y'all to sample and try out. See if you like. Give me some feedback. Yeah, I'm saying, who else will I do that for other than my members? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, stuff you ain't got to get back. You just try to tell me yay or nay. That's all. You know what I'm saying? And being the fact that I did the show on Monday and could only do it for an hour because I felt so bad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't get to partake in St. Patrick's Day. So, I've been sipping a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I'm going to partake now. You know what I'm saying? I feel a lot better. You know what I'm saying? So hey, it could be a real live show. Y'all know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the people. All right, like a bad shout out to you. I thank you, King. We also got the King Iman Brown. All right, what's up?
Boom.
Yes. Okay.
Boom.
We got our queen in the building. Shout out to you, Sabrina.
What's up, Sabrina?
Yes, Sabrina. Girl, you might want to stay in for this one. This is going to be a good one right here. This is going. Now, the topic of tonight's show, and I want y'all to be as uncensored as y'all can be. You know what I'm saying? That YouTube allows. But
Okay.
let me give y'all the topic. And I need every one of y'all. I need y'all to tell me what y'all think. If y'all need me to put some polls, up, you know what I'm saying? So we can get a consensus or whatever. I know it's early. We can do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I need to know how my evolutionaries feel, right? So this is Loud Lady Podcast. I know this is episode 48. I want to know, is it acceptable for women to propose to men? Right? So there's a new trend sweeping now. It is where women, all right, ladies, all colors, all ethnicities, yeah. We are proposing to men now. We are not waiting anymore. How y'all feel about that? I'm just saying. I be wanting to know. Let me tell you something. I was on Spaces and they were talking about it. I said, no, that can't be right. I said, this is some old, you know what I'm saying? Get women to do the men's work, you know what I'm saying? Like it always is. I'm not, I tell you, I went and looked at them numbers. I had to adjust my wig. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I know that women are not, hey, I'm not even gonna, all I'm just saying, it surprised me because I don't want to put no bias on anything that we talk about here. So what I'm trying to ask, right, is if y'all can, evolutionaries, if y'all could tell me in the comments how y'all feel about this. You know what I'm saying? Hey, people first. Hey.
What's up?
Shout out
What's
to
up,
you.
More?
Yes, Ruby, Sabrina said hi to you.
Hi, Sabrina.
Yeah, Sabrina, you know what I'm saying? That's one of my beautiful queens. And Sabrina tell it like it is. So I'm so happy to have her in here because Sabrina's not going to pull no punches tonight. She is not going to play with nobody. And I love that. I love that. Oh, the White School Podcast. All right, Stephanie. Stephanie said, don't do it, ladies. I'm shocked, Stephanie. I feel you.
But okay, Stephanie, but we gonna have you come up here and clarify what that mean, Queen. Because
yes,
I'm gonna say
what you think.
maybe I know I would love to hear what she means by that specifically. I think I might know. But as far as I go, I'm just gonna say real quick, this might not be fair for me to answer because I am I would say bisexual woman. So if I fall in love with a woman and I mean like, well, shit, is the one that's who's going to propose? Am I to assume that the one that acts more tomboyish? What am I talking about? Okay. So at the same time, I understand where y'all are coming from a heterosexual living in America, or let's just say that, just to simplify it. We live in America. We have these norms, these traditions that we've done. We know the history of marriage and why marriage came about in the first place. And we also can believe that it is ordained by God and all that stuff, right? Excuse me. However, I think now more than anything, it just goes to show that for me, that it should have kind of been, it couldn't have been that way from the beginning, but it doesn't surprise me that it's that way now. Why do I say that? Because a lot of women like myself are let's say they're open sexually, right? And so you have to consider that. And then you have to consider the fact that people's like perceptions regarding marriage. For me, marriage means that two different businesses have merged together and they have joined forces in which they are building an empire. And so I'm not going to want to marry somebody who I just have a crush on or who has a big old ding-a-ling, okay? It's going to be, there's a reason why. So with that said, yeah, I would propose to somebody if it made sense.
I so like how you put that, and I'm okay. That link is just don't click on that one because I don't think you're gonna get up here. I was trying to put the link up. I'm gonna put it back up. Okay, now I like how you put that because I also believe that marriage is a business. And I'm not very traditional. You know what I'm saying? And most things I say, but that one. Yeah, I'm gonna have you know what I'm saying, cut the line somewhere. I would never. And I'm putting the link up, y'all, because I really want to hear what y'all got to say. And I know I got more people to shout out. Just give me a few minutes. I took my glasses off instead of putting it on to do this. Because this light is no joke. Here we go. Let's see. That should be it. All right. And I got a couple of clips and stuff for y'all. All right. What's up, Daniel?
What's up, Daniel?
They are proposing marriage. So the women want to marry the men. It's like they're saying, we not waiting no more. If you don't propose, homeboy, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be an honest woman. Guess what? I'm going to make my damn self an honest woman. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Daniel, what's up?
What's up, Daniel?
I can't keep my mouth shut about this.
What do you think about it? Being one of the how do you feel?
So, yeah. One hand, yeah, anybody can do whatever they want, right? It's a couple. You guys do what you want. On the other hand, it's like, why would you have to wait for a guy to propose, right? Like, he should be on top of that shit. The thing that I think matters most, and I'm not saying this is across the board, guys can care about a marriage too, but I have never met a man that told a story about a proposal, right? Women care about how the proposal went what like big trip they like bothered to do, like all kinds of crazy stuff. All that setup and stuff has only ever been on a woman's side in my experience. Now, a guy totally could care. What are the chances, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, thank you. Perfect. And both of you make so much sense. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all bringing up stuff I didn't even think about. Y'all don't know any guys. Well, I'm going to be honest. I know of one lady that proposed, because y'all know I sing. Maybe a lot of y'all don't know I sing. And, you know, I was a DJ in this club. And I remember the lady proposed. She was, when I tell you, beautiful voice, and she proposed to her man. And I just remember looking at him, was like, wow, you look like the softest brother in here. You know, she was down on her knee. Mind you, she already had like a short haircut. She kind of was almost like the studdish kind of. And all I could think was, I know she bending him over. I could just, that's all I could think of. I was like, and I didn't see him before that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have, you know, it was just her man. But then I was like, Dad, she just like completely switched those roles in my mind. Yeah, and I never looked at him the same. Now, I haven't seen him in a while. You know, I went from DJing to doing something totally different, then going back to my 9 to 5. And if I see them now and they still together, I would be shocked. But she is kind of the more dominant. So, you know, hey, Stephanie. Hey,
What's up, Queen?
I'm so glad y'all came up, because it's so many like different
Carson,
opinions.
get your ass up here, girl.
Yeah, come on up here, Chocolate. Stop playing. All right.
And Corset.
What's up?
Anybody want to come up? What's up, Corset? Y'all don't be shy on this one. We all family. You know what I'm saying? I really need to understand how y'all feel about this. Y'all might be saving some beautiful, innocent sister from making a mistake, or y'all may be encouraging her to do something new. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say, you know, what's what. We don't know what's right yet until we talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yes. Stephanie, how do you feel about it? So we heard from Ruby, we heard from Daniel. I'm gonna ask Stephanie, and I'm gonna ask Corset. Y'all tell me how you feel about this.
I think I gotta reconnect. Is there an echo?
Say something else a little bit. It's not bad though.
A little bit. Yeah, I think I gotta reconnect. I don't
What's
know.
up, Queen?
Is it echoey, y'all? Testing. How y'all beautiful ladies
a little
doing?
Bit.
Yes,
a little bit.
Of
Okay.
it. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Corset. Come back. Yes. How you feel about this, Stephanie?
Well, I believe that a woman should not get on her knee to propose to anybody. That's just me. I'm traditional. If anybody doesn't know that by now, I am very traditional. And it's the message that it sends. I know Miss Ruby said that, you know, their lifestyle that she lives, maybe in that lifestyle, somebody has to assume a masculine role, and that's just what it is. It's a signal, it's a message of a man that gets down on his knee to ask that person to marry them, betroth them. And it's usually a man. So even if it was a female, you're still taking that masculine, identity of cosplaying in that position to ask them to marry you. So,
yeah.
And men are so presumptuous, you know.
It just takes that role.
Can you imagine how awkward that would be if you like got down on your knee to propose and he's all like getting excited because
it's like I can see the strap on in that instance.
His belt is like halfway undone when you like whip out a ring and he's like, oh.
Or because we're in a modern day, wouldn't it be the conversation? Like, for instance, if I am gonna propose to somebody, I'm not getting on my knee. I might sit across a very beautiful, elegant table with your hand in mine, looking in your eyes and I might ask you like that. So it's like if I'm already not doing something traditional, I'm saying, then I'm not going to necessarily need to follow any of the roles in terms of that process.
Oh, you're not going to do a traditional.
But who's going to be sacrificial? Because that's how it's supposed to be. So who's going to sacrifice in this situation? Who is there? Somebody that's going to take headship and leadership over that? Or is that going to be a tussle or a fight?
No, I don't think it needs to be a fight. And usually with a same-sex, usually in same-sex relationships, there is less of this or this. It's kind of like just, as far as my experience goes, it's just a conversation. You're actually, literally look at each other's like equals, duh. But it's like there is no tussling. It's more like it's a conversation. You express your feelings, and then you move on or you compromise as you need to. That's it.
So I just started this business of same-sex marriage coordinator, where we're going to have a mediator between, so you can both propose at the same time.
Is that your new business offer, or are you for real that you do that?
Just throwing it out right here on the air for the first time.
So, one of them does have to be dominant, and one does have to be submissive. So, technically, Stephanie has a big point. But I see Ruby's point also. But you got to think, women marrying women is not traditional. So, does she have to get on her knee, or can she? Since she didn't start on traditional, does she have to stay traditional and get on? But
what's the so why isn't she getting on her knee? See, that's the thing. Why isn't she?
Well, there's the thing, because there's the same reason why I don't celebrate with Christmas stockings. It's like, just because somebody said that that's what we do, that's not really how I look at it. And like I said, why would I limit myself in any way that doesn't resound with how I am naturally if I'm already in an untraditional setting? So I just say that to say, I don't think, like, for instance, if anyone can tell me the significance of the kneeling of down and how it relates to a perfect marriage, I don't know. I'd be interested.
That's where I was going to go. So not joking this time. The reason a guy kneels down, I think it's a little messed up. The guy kneels down to lower himself beneath the woman for the first time.
It's like being submissive, right?
It is him showing that he is willing to lower himself before her, and so she should be like, "Oh, this is the only man in the world that'll do this for me." It's a weird sort of like patriarchal thing that like guys are like always above women, running around, and it's like, this is the only time that I'll do this. I'll get down on one knee before you.
All of these things.
I mean, and it makes sense because if he usually is selfish and doing his own thing, but this woman he's going to stop to do all that for. It does make sense that he's telling her that in that symbolization, not that he is a sucker. It's just
it doesn't even it doesn't even mean that
it just doesn't resound.
That's the way you're wording it. You know what
I'm saying? It doesn't have to be the first. I'm just saying, like, that's like the origin of it, though. That's all. Like, which I'm not like against getting down on one knee. I've done it. I just I feel like it's
and it would make sense.
Not necessary for a woman.
Should be is on their knees.
That would be a wonderful second discussion. It's like, all right, so a woman should get down on one knee so that she can represent that she is, for the first time, getting down beneath a man, because women are not below men by nature anymore, are they?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, okay,
that's
he makes a good point.
That's why they want to sit at the table and not get. That's what I'm saying, Ruby. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to say, why won't you do it? Like, is there something that you don't want to give up, or like you try to keep it equal all the time? Because it's not going to be equal all the time. We know that in relationships, and somebody will have to supersede somebody else. And that's why I said and even in regular relationships, it's like that, and it's hard. So I was wondering from your perspective about that. That's all.
Sabrina brings up a good point too. I'm just reading what Sabrina said.
That was good.
She said, I think a proposal can come from the man or the woman. However, it seems as though a woman proposes as pressure towards the man. Yeah. Versus waiting for him to propose. You know what I'm saying? My sis hit that right on the head. Sabrina, I couldn't have said that no better. That's exactly what I feel like that is. Hey, fool, since you're not going to marry me, guess what? We going to get married. What I always say, voluntarily or involuntarily. You know what I'm saying? But check this out. Sabrina, holla at me if you feel me. But when a woman does it, now she run everything.
I wonder how often a guy says no versus a woman says no.
Sabrina gonna be like, bitch, please.
That's proposing.
Hey, chocolate.
Proposing to a man is the fastest way to end a relationship. So
yeah, come on, Cosette. How you feel? Yeah, yes, indeed. Let them know why.
Like that's crazy work.
Yeah,
that's crazy work.
Like
if he would okay. So if you're proposing to a man because y'all been in a relationship 3-4 years, he's not gonna ask you. So you asking him isn't gonna make him do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
If he don't ask you within 3 to 6 months, he's not gonna ask. He's satisfied with the mediocrity that is y'all's existence, and he's not gonna ask. The pressure you give is he has to be scared to lose you for him to ask. That's why they ask.
Of course,
it's the fear that you will do better.
You bring up another side topic. If I'm going to propose to somebody, it's going to be a surprise. I mean, we'll have talked about marriage and stuff beforehand, probably, right? But that would go for a woman proposing to a man too, presumably. But it's going to be a surprise. If you come out and propose to me, there's a damn good chance that you just fucking blew like 10 grand, right? I mean, I had like some big fucking plan in the works, and like you just ruined it.
It's if you're. I mean, are you going to lead the entire relationship? He gets to stay at home cooking and cleaning, and he don't have to give you money. He can just be the nice at home wife. Because if that's going to work for you, do it. But because
I'm still not saying you.
What message is that sending the leadership in the household?
I'm still saying like every couple can do their own thing, right? Like I'm not trying to rule anything out. I'm just saying on average, like chances are the guy is already kind of planning a proposal if he's gonna be ready for marriage. And if he's not, then then messed up. So if you know that he's not gonna propose to you, then I guess go for it. But how do you know that, right? You already freaking know that you're allowed to propose at that point, right?
Would y'all think a man would just go ahead and say yes because he doesn't want her not say no? He may love her.
I bet the no's are greater if that's the case, honestly. Just how society, the snapshot of what society is. Because if he wanted to, he would at the end of the day, going by that model.
I think they'll all say yes and then smash your sister or your best friend or your cousin to make sure you know about it.
What? What the hell?
Yeah, you got the ring? Guess what, boo-boo? That's why I sat on his face last night. Real close to home. It might even be your mammy or your grandma. These grandmas loose out here in the streets. These grandmas out here twerking to take your man.
Sounds like somebody's
gonna do it extra disrespectful.
Yeah, that wow. Let me okay. So Chocolate, how you feel about it? Jump on in the conversation. Shout out to ISC. That's Intelligent Neanderthal Caveman, and also Super Gang. Shout out to you. I just want to make sure I shout out everybody. We're gonna jump right back into this conversation. Hey y'all, the link is up.
Let's be nice towards each other.
In this room.
Is it coming in clear, guys? It's not crazy or distorted or anything.
Now, you sound good. You
sounds a little like muffled, but it
muffled. Okay, that's because I got these on.
You look beautiful too, Queen. Yes.
Yeah.
Stephanie, Ruby, Corset. I know Corset looking good back there on the watch. She ain't on camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna cam up for you, baby, in a minute.
All right, yes, indeed.
Get out this damn car. You know me and the cameras. I'll be crazy with the cameras on. Turn the cameras on. Let me not be a hypocrite.
Here's my little, hold on. Let me get my little microphone. Okay.
So let me get my big ass out this car.
Talk to on this little ass microphone. Ruby, I'm here for you, sis. Now I'm not a bisexual woman. Like I don't know if I am. I've never done that. Been asked. Appreciate it. Shout out to the lady. But I'm just saying, I'm strictly dicky at this point in it. Right? What I find interesting again, it's 2025 and we're still talking about these
I
archaic
can't
roles.
really hear her. Can you guys hear her? I'm
It's a
hearing it
little
muffled.
muffled. It's a little muffled.
Hold on, hold on, hold on,
I
hold
we
on.
just
I don't
I
think
want
you
to be
No.
need
able to
that.
hear what you're
You
saying,
don't need
Queen.
that.
Yeah, me too, me too. I want y'all to hear it. I don't want to have to repeat or rary it. So I'm gonna take these off real quick. We're gonna.
Okay, can y'all still hear me?
That's better. Much
That's
better.
better.
Much better.
Okay, awesome. So, as I was saying, no disrespect to anyone's belief, deciding what they have to do, but I just wish we would stop with the religious mix of what we deem traditional, right? Let's stop that part, because again, that side of it, if we're really talking about the level of tradition, where? What era? What are you talking about? Where?
It's timeless.
Because no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Hold on now.
Timeless.
You're talking
Priceless,
to a historian.
And obviously you just stopped. You're nowhere. Obviously.
No.
In limbo.
Can I finish before you attack me with your religious words? Anyway,
and you attacked me with your religious insinuation.
No, I wasn't attacking. Right. No, I wasn't attacking you. I was talking. I wasn't talking. I wasn't attacking you. So let's. No. We don't have to pretend. I'll be 100 with you. Always. If I was attacking you, you would know. I would never disrespect you or any of the other women up here like that. Okay, so I don't do backhand comments. If I'm fucking around, I will be, but I'm serious right now. Okay, so I wasn't directing this at you. I grew up in the church. My father was a pastor. Great grandfather was a pastor. It don't mean nothing. These are titles. It's the intent and action behind the words. And so when you talk about marriage, and when you talk about intent, and we talk about tradition, what traditions are we talking about? Because the only thing we talk about is a man paying for you, taking care of you and your children. You shouldn't or even have to even think about working. But I find it interesting. I don't hear the men saying that they that traditional out here for us. Okay, 50-50 is still running the streets. So it's not to disrespect any woman's desire for that type of relationship. Really, in all honesty, I wish that we weren't in people's business, but this is human beings and this is what we do. So if we're going to do it, then fine. I'll say this. I don't give a shit. If you marry each other on the top of a tree, I don't care. If you drink sun water and jump over a broom, not my business. Because in all honesty, all we talking about is tradition of American mix of what that looks like. This started in the 1677. I'm a nerd. 1677. By the this is the Roman Catholic Church getting down on one knee, doing all of this, the stress of a man should buy 3 months worth of ring, and we need to decide, and don't go to the bachelor party. Like you got these extreme situations. They've made shows from this traditional marriage. Why are there so many shows about not doing this? And it's not, and the last thing I'll land here, I promise. There is no representation of that. We didn't grow up with that. But my best friend across the street, She saw movies, cartoons, television, books at school, teachers, the whole nine, discussing family and love and happiness and and all that. How many places did we get, besides one or two, that are in syndication today because there's nothing else that represents us as Black women or Black men showing this Black love that's out here? There's nothing. The music, the media, none of it. But we don't fight for that. But you will tell me I'm wrong because I don't want to walk down the aisle with some bum that I don't know if he gonna stay. These dudes is iffy.
Right.
Man right there.
Oh, no, I'm lost. So are you for the women proposing to a man or against it?
Do I have to pick one? Do I have to pick a side? Like,
yes.
Damn. Okay, if I had to pick a side, I'm gonna say go for it, sis. Hey,
okay.
Time is of the essence. Why she gotta wait around for him? Maybe that's the test. Maybe that's what she need to see. Maybe yes, it's not all about desperation. Like, that's the first pitfall y'all want to go to. Like, oh, she must be ugly. She must be desperate. Pretty women don't have to go through that. That's a lie, bro. It's hard out here for pimps. Okay, so it is not.
Okay, someone agrees with you too.
But back up a second. Yeah, I don't think any of us have really said women shouldn't be shouldn't do it.
I'm not talking about
right?
you guys. No. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying just in general,
Yeah.
like the tropes of what we've been told and where marriage is concerned. And it's not to knock it.
Yeah.
Please know this has nothing to do with knocking religion. I'm talking about just your basic everyday, but it's so rooted in religion that we don't want to touch that part. So we want to pick that part out and say, well, I'm going to apply this because I want the same thing Susie Q got, because that's what we've hyped up, that's the right way to go. And then you divorce 3 months later after $20,000 worth of wedding. Like, I mean, that's an example. That's one example. And then you got people that are, you know what I mean? You married forever and you went to the justice of the peace. So that it has to be touched on. We can't dance around that part. So there you go. Thank you.
You know, it doesn't matter in the courthouse or in the church. You still have to make vows. You still have to exchange your commitment to one another. Yes, they do.
You show it. Some people just show it.
Well,
it's still a justice of the peace. Is that what I'm saying? You still say
there are plenty
your commitment towards one another. It's still vows. It's still words of what you're going to do, and that you love this person. You confess your love for them. It's still the same thing. It doesn't matter if you're on a yacht. It's still a profession where you come together, and an officiant is still there. It's officiated. It's still an officiated event. It doesn't matter where it is. You know what I'm saying? So it still has to be in order. A thing.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you this, and this is
and it's not even a religion. That's what I'm saying. Even if it's the people, it's not religion.
But it is. It's a base. You can't get away from that.
But that's your society. Don't get mad at it, okay? And also, but I will tell you what it is. I'm taking it out of religion. I'm saying it's not even in the church. It's at the courthouse, but still, it's still officiated. That's what I'm saying.
Talking about you are putting together and conflating that I'm saying that it has to deal with whether you're in a church or not. That's not what I said. What I said,
you said,
and I say it again.
You said rooted in religion. I'm trying to take it out of religion.
I'm telling
and just
you,
put it in. You said the courthouse lasts forever. So I brought it to the courthouse, and you still arguing about it.
You can marry at the.
So are y'all arguing? So is it about being traditional or not traditional? Is that the disagreement?
Oh, I know I'm not traditional, but I get.
I'm saying a lot of people do go to the courthouse, which is not traditional, but it's still
the courthouse definitely traditional.
But I think what we're doing is talking about it on a very surface level. In the question that's being asked, men and women switching roles is a part of our society. This ain't new.
Now okay. I was going to get to that.
That
is the
in
most
the world. Like,
that's the most dominant role reversal switch in history. That is something that women are doing on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest. That's the one that I could never do. But you know what I'm saying?
That's what's so great.
I would look at my man as feminine. I would be the man in that relationship.
Can I ask, like, on average, what you guys think? Who, like, between ignoring marriage for a second, like, who do you think between men and women chooses who hooks up?
The woman.
What do you mean? Sex? Women choose
sex. Yeah.
But men choose marriage.
But what I'm saying is it's the woman that's choosing. The woman, like, gets, like, the guys are, like, sitting here running around like peacocks trying to find a woman. Woman's like, yeah, okay, come on. Now the guy, now it's on the guy's job to prove to her that he is ready to commit long term, and that's why he is the one that proposes, because she is still the one that's saying yes, right? He's the one that's, some traditionally. I'm not saying that every guy should be or anything like that. I'm just saying historically, on average, socially, and it is wrong, but the guy is like the playboy that runs around, and he's like the one that's like not the reliable one. So for him to come and then propose, it's meaningful.
Yes.
I have seen it.
It's the most
I have seen men say yes.
Selfless thing you can do. I think. You know what I'm saying? As a man. You know what I'm saying? Other than take the bullet for me. But straight to the chest.
But nothing is wrong. I just want to let you know.
In and out.
That's my point. Right. That's my point. It is not to attack.
If I gotta do it, then you might
have preferences. Right. You have preferences as a woman. See, the thing about this traditional marriage piece that, again, we tiptoe around, when that word was being dropped around, this was about not having choices. Traditional marriage means I can't work. I can't make money for myself. I need to bear children for you. Donna Reed on steroids. We have Black women they live that way as well. Our great-grandmothers, our grandmothers, and even some of our mothers. We waited on our men. Our brothers were taken care of. If it was sisters, we have always been put in positions of submission. So I don't get why women feel they gotta defend. If you want a traditional marriage, by all means, I'm thumbs up. I'm no hater here. And the thing I wanted to add is I'm actually a licensed officiant. I can marry anybody on the spot.
Get it, girl.
Please don't bring that up. Please don't bring that up.
No, I am.
That doesn't know that well on this show.
That's a good bag to have.
Is what I'm saying.
What? Don't be what?
Yeah, because it was a thing. I'm starting to notice the people that they give these licenses to.
No.
Y'all got the wildest ideas of everything, including marriage. And it's like, we had a big thing.
But my thought process, this is why I brought it up. Hold on, Evo. Let me say this. The reason I brought it up is because I wanted to give y'all the other side of how my brain rocks. I don't sit here and go, oh, traditional marriage, women ain't, you weak, you are submissive. I've never told a woman that. Never.
That's right.
My mama was a submissive. My mama did all of the things that you talk about, and women that feel that is what you should do as a wife and a mother. Hey, it is the hard. I don't know what it's like to squeeze a human out my twat. Oops, excuse me. I don't know if we say that. I'm so sorry, but I don't. Mm-hmm. So it would be wrong of me to sit up and go, oh, well, I know exactly how you feel. Even as a woman, I don't. So that's why I shared that piece only for the reason that I can separate the two.
I didn't even point out that
you know what I mean? I don't hate on marriage.
I'd even point out that within the context of defined roles like that, she wasn't necessarily even submissive. That's just the way things were at some point.
Well,
I get it. I'm just saying.
Why Why do we want to dance around? Yes, submission.
Wait,
sir.
I'm gonna ask y'all
It is
something.
submission. Why
Look
are
at
you
this right
afraid
here.
of what that is?
Look at this comment. It says if there's masculine women, because they say proposing is super masculine, then there must be feminine men. I talked about that earlier. You change the roles, like Chocolate was saying, and now you know what I'm saying? Now everything is switched. You know what I'm saying?
There's proof of this in other cultures all over the world. We have information everywhere. They're other human beings. The only difference is the culture.
I just got to circle back.
Maybe, you know
I just got to circle back to the first thing that I said, though. It's not, there is nothing wrong with a woman proposing. Flat out. There's nothing wrong with it, except if you are like expecting to propose to a woman and you're keeping it a secret because that's the average, that's the most common thing. It does make sense to have like a sort of social norm that kind of defines like what expectations are so that you can have those surprises and this and that. Now you can talk about it and you can figure out whatever the hell you want in your own relationship, but on average, it does make sense to be careful about it and to expect one person or the other, whoever that may be, to propose on average.
Ben said men are wearing purses nowadays. I understand where you're going with that. Yeah, I think that's more feminizing our men. They get more feminized day by day.
Men have been wearing purses. They wore dresses. Like, this ain't new.
It's not good.
Men have done this. No, we can go and find it. Like, what are we doing?
Let me tell y'all something.
We already let them separating the two.
We're human beings, though.
They're already crying. They're already complaining. They already need hugs. Now we gonna let them wear purses. When does this nonsense
Yes, they wearing purses. Evo, you can't stop it.
When does it stop? Do we want girlfriends?
It'll evolve into something else.
Do we want wives or husbands? Like
why do y'all act like it's zombies of these men with purses and trying to be feminine, walking through the streets, snatching good men? That's not what's happening.
If he wearing a purse, he probably is snatching good men. That he probably is snatching good men.
But again,
if he wearing a purse.
But again.
But it's our fault we're not getting proposed to because you do every thing for them. You take care of them. You mother them. You do everything without requiring a proposal, and then you're there 15 years later waiting for a proposal.
Yeah,
but that's because it's not a standard. It's not a standard.
You don't know how to let go, move on, and accept that person is not for you.
It's
you just have to be very comfortable and stay there. Then to go get somebody else that will value you and love you.
No, but that's not amount of freedom. We are still benefiting from the first steps of women kind of jumping out of these chains. That's why our girls is like this and on. Like, what we doing? This is why we did what we did. This is why women fought to have the right to do what they needed to do and choose to be married.
What? Why are you saying? Why are we all assuming that proposing is the dominant thing? How is that dominant?
It is.
Hey, I don't know.
I like that. That was good. I like that. That because you're right. Like I said, it's a position of sacrifice, and that's what I said in the beginning, and I love it.
Just that is one position. You both need to agree to get married, right? It's not like he's gonna push you into it. I hope
that's the vulnerability in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you are making a decision to change both of your lives. That's the dominant part of it.
Sure, you're not though. She is too when she says yes or no.
Well, she has to say
honestly
yes unless you propose.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So you got both. Y'all right. Y'all do got both.
So he has to be vulnerable.
It would be hard to say no. I will throw that out there. Like somebody proposes to you. It's not like I would agree to get married if I wasn't like, if I didn't want to, but it would be hard, right? Because that is like a big blow, right?
I feel like a lot of people.
I like to say no.
I'm sorry. I don't have much of a voice, but I feel like a lot of people have. I've seen a lot of proposals to where I feel like it's a bit manipulative the way that people go about doing it, having it done in public and all of these other things to where you feel as if it's like you would embarrass the person.
You should make it special, but not like pressure them with other people.
If you all haven't been discussing it in depth prior to them actually proposing and making it official. I feel like it's very manipulative. I don't care who's doing it, to do it in public, invite the person's family and friends and everything like that. And then I wonder how many people are married today just because they didn't have the ability to say
guts
no.
Or the
pressure.
Not just guts, but
the only way I'm saying
ability,
yes
period.
is on stage in front of hundreds. That's the only way I'm saying yes.
But not if they never discussed it before, right? Though, of course, you would have had to have known that it was coming, right?
Well, in order for a person to put a ring on your finger, you guys have been ring shopping. They know your size. We can't play around that.
You would think there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who will sit there and be in a relationship.
Steal one of your rings.
Well, ask a friend what's her size, or just get the size and hope for the best, so on and so forth. But there's a lot of people who don't truly discuss it, and it's like you could tell even sometimes in the proposal that it was such a freaking surprise to the person that they was even being proposed to, and it's just like the assumption, like, oh, we've been together for X amount of time, let's go on and get married, but there was never a discussion prior. And then if you're doing that, and I think it happened.
It does happen. So every time it's happened to me, it looked like it was a surprise to them when they asked. So I was definitely very surprised.
Right. So it wasn't like a long discussion, like we're gonna get married, we're gonna live here, so on and so forth, and then you're just waiting for the proposal. It's like,
we didn't know each other long. We weren't together long. Because that's why I keep joking around about. They will ask you in the first.
But I mean, like, even if somebody did that like soon, like that, that's unwise to even get into that situation because you don't really know them. One.
I mean,
two.
It depends. My parents didn't know each other.
People do it all the time, though.
That's not a real good vetting. And
okay,
then
there's like something.
The FBI can't even vet. Like, what are we doing?
Can I finish?
Okay.
So my parents been together 40 years, and my dad took her on one date.
Awesome. Crazy, but
that's how a lot of our parents had.
Also, they're like adamant about not getting divorced, right?
Yep. It's just depends on. Are you going to put in the work? Are you going to nitpick on stupid? People want to live together and nitpick about stupid things and break up behind stupid things.
Well, I think people were probably a little bit better at it before all the social media too.
Really nice.
It's just kind of a lot of people have. A lot of women these days have the longest list on the planet of what they require, and they don't check off even a third of that.
I know. I had to get my hair cut.
Let's talk about that. Talk about that. That need to be a show. I'm glad you said that because this is my thing, and I'm having an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? Because we always tell women that, right? You want him to do such and such and such, and you can't do it. If I could do it for my damn self, what the hell do I need with him? Stop telling women that. Like, why we do that? What the hell I need you for? I got all that. But then the first thing a man want to say is, oh, you're being too dominant. You're doing everything yourself. You know how many men told me, I want you to need me. You don't need me. You're too independent. You're the man that you need me to be. Thank you. Let's stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you said that. That the hell is going to be a show. And Chocolate, you better be there. Cosette, Stephanie, Ruby. Yeah, even Daniel. Let me tell you something. How many shows have you seen men say that? Well, she always want me to have this money, and she ain't got no money. If I had the money, you damn fool, I wouldn't need you. What I need you for? But then the first thing a woman say, well, I don't need a man. I'm the best man I know. You know what I'm saying? And then we mad. Why we mad though? Why we mad? I'm just saying. I've been drinking. I have. But damn, if I'm a fool, I know I'm spitting facts.
Hold on, I'm about to take my smoke break. I'm about to take a smoke break. We about to get in. I'm down. Let's go.
I don't think you have to know somebody forever to know. I think you can.
No, you don't. I
don't even have to
agree
speak
with
the
you
same
on
language
that,
to know.
And I wanted to say this to the gentleman on the panel. So what exactly she said and described, that's exactly what happened to me. Like I said, I'm coming with receipts. My ex, he made He proposed to me in front of his pastor at the church.
I got a story.
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying right here?
At the church.
Yeah,
What was I supposed to say to him?
And you guys hadn't talked
know
about this before.
I trust that pastor. I don't know him. Girl.
You hadn't talked about marriage before?
Listen, yes, we had, and this is what I told you.
Okay.
I said,
Okay, but you talked about it before. It's
hold
different.
on, no, wait. Hear what I said first.
Oh no, I thought you were saying
told
okay,
him-
comparing it to what happened.
Oh, not you, Corset. I
the
wasn't
Dan.
talking to you.
Okay.
Damn.
Oh, y'all still
Listen now. Anyway,
Pressure.
listen. I'm telling you, the emotional upheaval of that. If all you've been told all your life as a little black girl that the best thing that can happen to you is that a black man finds you and put a ring on your hand. Then the next thing is buy you a house, pump you some food, some babies, work his job till he retire.
Hey,
And
man.
you gonna send Junior and little Susie off to school. And y'all gonna sit there, retire and rock and be old baby. That shit is gone. Okay? Because
So this is like a social maturity problem, right?
it's
I mean,
not just
we had.
Sir, hold on real quick. It's not just a social issue. This comes from cultures, especially in the United States.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
live anywhere else. So living in America, it is a very flashy, verbose, lying, over the top, complete. That's us as a country. It's so beyond, right? We have some of the greatest extremists in the world. Like this is where our energy lies. And getting married in this country is big business. Big business. Gowns, 13, 14, thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. And it hasn't stopped 1 year since World War II. So that's why I say all this.
Thank you, talk to me nice. Look what talk to me nice said. If a man accepts a proposal from a woman, he's a lame.
That's not okay.
He's soft.
Not fair.
What I meant by social maturity, like we had.
But another woman might be, or a guy might be timid. We forget that these other people exist. Are we staying with the majority of people, or are we staying with the people that do what they do every day? That's why I shared that.
I think it switches the roles in a bad way, in the worst way possible.
Well, how can that be? And I'll give an example.
I can give you an example too. Check this out. I'm gonna give you an example. Chocolate, you my husband, right? You a man on this one. I'm the woman. I propose to you. You know what I'm saying? One day I tell you, hey, you know what I'm saying? You ain't put out the garbage. You say something crazy. I'm gonna say, you know what? That's why I should have never proposed to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I picked you, nigga. Oh, excuse my language. I picked you, sir. I should have never picked you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not you wasn't worthy of my time. You know what I'm saying? I run all the way. You can't put out the garbage. And then it's like, oh.
World War III. War
III. Like, y'all get it? The roles have changed.
The roles have changed, Evo, because we are demanding standards. Just like you said earlier. Okay, for those of us who grew up in this era, what your mama and aunts tell you were the criteria to get a good man? Three things that a man had to have for you to give up the booty, a date, the time, whatever. Y'all got it. Smoke break.
Green card.
I'm working on this new concept, ladies, and I'll probably introduce it on Sunday. I am looking for what they call a BMW, right? Now I have a Lexus. But to go with that Lexus, right, I need what they call a black man working. You know what I'm saying? That is the big criteria that I need. I need you to have a job, some income, some other things. But that's top of the list. Is he a BMW? That's all I'm saying. I like the nicer things in life. Yeah, you're going to need to have a job, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all get it?
The bar is too low.
I was gonna say your bar is. I don't think I can limbo under that.
Thank you for saying that. It is. That's what I mean.
It's supposed to be hard to go over the bar, right?
That's the thing.
You gotta cross the street to go above the bar. I implore you, ladies, cross the street.
Because the thing about it
is,
I'm already. I'm in the water.
We need a BMW. It's time to cross the street. China ain't got no women, ladies. There is 0 women and everyone got jobs. It's the bar to the black man.
Black people.
It's time to go.
I will tell you that.
How long do you think you should be together with somebody before you get married? Before you take it seriously?
I said it only take a year.
I think at least
a year.
Yeah.
I think that if you get with somebody, you can fool yourself for a year.
Yeah.
Anybody can.
You can fool them for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
A representative, you can fool a naive person for a year or 2 years, and a representative can usually put on for a good 12 months to 15 months. A representative can put on.
I think 3 years. I mean, that's like over the top, maybe, but like 3 years guaranteed, who somebody is.
I agree.
2 years, you could probably.
But check this out. Men they only need 6 months to a year to know if they want to marry you. That's
the thing about it is,
if I know I don't want to get married.
Even when a man wants to, even when a man wants to marry you, that does not mean that a man is ready. So just that, a lot of times people are so ready to go into. That's why I always say on my podcast, are you planning a wedding or a marriage? There is a big difference, because someone wanting to marry you, I mean, Idris Elba want to marry me, okay? But I mean, it is.
I'm hurt.
People wanting to marry you.
He lied to me.
Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Like, I'm literally like, anybody could want to marry you, but are you ready? And that's it. When I was listening to you guys describe the proposal, I personally think my son's proposal was the best. The renting out of the venue, the waiting, the guy coming and bringing all the rings and personally designing it to match the ring that my mother wore, like really planning it out for over a year. And just having only certain people that were invested in their relationship from the beginning as the guest.
Thought about it.
And making sure that each guest, it was not just randomly people, everyone knowing. It wasn't put on social media. We waited weeks before we shared it on social media. It was a real intimate event. So I think that he did get on his knee. He is law enforcement, so he's full of power, and he did get on his knee. So I think that it's how when a person knows they know they've been dating since middle school. They've had plenty of time to put this thing together, but he also wanted to make sure he was in position for all the things that matter: buying her car, buying her house, all those things matter.
Yeah. He's a BMW.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all that. So it's not just
he's a traditional dude. That's what I'm saying.
That is traditional though, too, right? Like, if before you marry somebody, you need to be able to prove that you are viable, right? Like you're bona fide. Yeah. I think
everybody could get within minutes of meeting someone. I guarantee you, when a guy meets Evo, he wants to marry her. When he meets Chocolate, Ruby, when he meets Stephanie, when he meets Corsette, immediately they want that to be their wife, but they're not all.
I think we confuse wants to marry with doesn't not want to marry. Like, in 6 months, I can tell if I don't want to marry somebody for sure, but you can't tell if you want to marry them. They're just not scratched off the list automatically.
I agree.
Oh, look at this comment right here, y'all.
You just don't know us yet, ladies.
This makes a difference too. Look, and don't look into it too much. But what she's saying right here, this makes a big difference. What she's saying, I had to read it the second time.
I mean, my father was in my life too, but
in the home, you usually not proposing to no man.
Yeah.
That's not in your repertoire to do. You didn't even see nothing like that. You wasn't raised.
Evo. And I think there was you and me and some other women.
He just gave us some knowledge. Did we hear this before we moved on too quickly?
But he has a point. Yeah, he does.
What? I'm sorry. What's his name?
He dropped a point for us. We can learn. Say it again, Dave. I think we missed it.
Oh, you're talking about me? I thought you were talking about a chat.
You skipped it.
What did I say? Oh no.
It's not necessarily that you want to.
Yeah, like I don't think that a man like I think Evo said earlier, like a guy knows if he wants to get married in 6 months. And I think that that's immature. I think that maybe like we're kind of obsessed with this idea that you fall in love with people now, whereas it used to be maybe a little more economical, right? And that's where I was going to say we're like socially immature. That's why I brought that up earlier. Women used to be in a really disadvantaged position financially, right? And now they're still disadvantaged, but much less than they used to be, right? You can have a job and vote and have a bank account.
Talk about that.
We can survive what's going on.
I think it's totally natural for us to just be really bad at like I mean, it's not wrong for us to say like you should love the person that you get married. It's not wrong for us to say women should have higher standards. We're just not good at it yet, right? It's like when the internet first came out, we had like Yahoo chat and shit. Like we were not good at using the internet.
Dial-up.
Then we fucking grew up.
I don't agree with that. I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with that. Those be those excuses. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you can lay down with me and stretch open my legs, then you can marry me. Yeah, if you could bust it wide open, if you could turn it around from the back and slap it and lick it and all that, then you can marry me. What happened? You know what I'm saying? And if you're not trying to marry me, then you don't need to touch me, homeboy. Leave that for the husband that you can't be, punk. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the other side. That's the other side.
Talking to me. Like ladies.
They don't want to.
Because they can get all up in there, drop 10 babiys. And you don't never see a ring.
How are they dropping 10 babies in you? What kind of woman are you, first of all, to be allowing all this to happen? This is cray cray.
If he's not one, he's dead wrong. He ain't dropped no ring. He ain't dropped no ring.
You know what, Evo? Can I say this though? In light of what Chrisette said about, I love what Evo just said because it's so true. If you could do all that, you know, but with Chrisette, when you talk about the Asian culture, I have my friends, right? And they were sharing with me their wedding, and she had like 12 wedding dresses, and I'm like, what's going on? And they own like 12 different nail shops. They are Asian. And she was telling me about their culture, right? And when it comes to them, the guy can't even step to them if he can't bring her $10,000 and $20,000 and $30,000 gifts and cash at all times. You can't even get in their face. She had 12 actual wedding dresses for the actual wedding. The guests cannot come to the wedding in the Asian culture unless they're bringing $10,000 or more as a gift, not a expensive gift, cash on wands. We talking about yen, wands.
I love it.
Africa also.
I think that we don't require enough in the culture. I do.
Y'all just want to do, but that's what you're right, Miss T, right?
D.
Just like what's his name? Nick. What's his name? I can't even see the name. Just like the young man said, you need something standardized. We don't. We just be going and doing whatever we want to do. End up wherever we are, and that's how it's going to be.
Another thing that
I agree with both of you opposites. Like, do we need something standardized? Not really. But I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. We like it. We have. There's a reason why we have. There's a reason why we have like tailgating parties at football games. There's a reason why we have gender reveals. There's a reason why we have these things. We like having big occasions. It's a tradition that you count on, that like you just expect, like how a funeral operates. Like you expect to have everybody there wearing black. Like there's tradition.
What's the gentleman's name that's speaking? I'm sorry.
Daniel.
So the thing that Daniel said that makes sense, and it even goes with what Evo's saying, right? Is the conflating of, wanting to marry, knowing that you want to marry somebody, and then knowing that you don't want to marry somebody. See, they could play around with you. Knowing that they don't want to marry you. Yeah. After 6 months to a year. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I agree with him when he's saying
it takes a while for you to know if you want to marry somebody. You may already know that you don't want to marry somebody, then you play around with them, and then y'all going for this whole cycle, and they know the whole time that they don't want to marry you.
I mean, if I go
as far as knowing that you want to marry somebody, I do feel like it takes a little while.
But T-Lounge, wanting to marry someone, you have to be ready according to her standards. And a woman should not be dropping her standards just because he's so ready, he's so desirous, and you keep saying no, so then he no longer wants to do it. If a man decides that he no longer wants to do it, he didn't want to in the beginning.
Right. I'm not talking about her standards. I'm not saying that she's not supposed to have those standards. What I'm talking about is I think that we missed what he was saying when he said that a lot of times we mistake, how did you say it? Knowing you don't want to marry
the difference between the two.
It's a difference, you know what I'm saying? Of like knowing it takes a short amount.
Yeah, it does. It takes
don't want to marry somebody.
Yeah.
Just to piggyback off what you just said, that's what I was saying. Like, you have all these different types, like the story of her sharing with us of someone else's culture. Now we got a computer in our hands. We can see East Indian, Nigerian, wherever you want to go, you can find out what kind of culture they do, what kind of wedding ceremony.
Or you can grow up in a military community where you meet every culture.
Yeah. And, hands-on is better. But my point is, and I hope I don't offend, but speaking into my community, speaking to the women of the Black community or I identified as culturally, not your color, just culturally, right? We have been sold a bill of goods because, again, you don't have enough traditional men for it to be pushed as a standard. It is about your emotional awareness. Who are you up here? This is what I can't see. I don't care because you got a job. I don't care because you got a degree. I don't care because you have gone to the moon and back. We are now together. That don't make you smart. That don't make none of that happen when it comes to social interactions and being in a relationship. That's what I meant by tiptoe.
Well, it depends on your love languages in Chocolate, because some people do care. Like, what is your love language?
I get it, but we can't get there. There's no represent. Where do we see the example?
No, this is what happens. No, let me defend why you don't see it, Chocolate, just for a second. You didn't see it because we have spent 400 years trying to show the bad part of the Black culture in the main newspapers, in the main media.
Okay, so let's change
the good men, like my father, who was there the whole time, like my grandfather, like my uncles, the good men weren't on television being or being in newspaper.
But that's not what I mean. I apologize. That's not what I'm talking about, because this isn't a new issue. This isn't an online issue. We've been having issues with marriage in our community since, of those of us who can go that far back. We've been
disparities. That's the reason why.
Because of lack of
it has one.
That's it.
I'm not disagreeing with any of the women.
It's because we're
all of these
moving in and not requiring a ring.
And the other,
I'm not going to dance, but you're talking about a segment of women.
We're
not
talking
us.
about Black Americans, because in Africa,
they're not. That's not
come with goats.
There's
something.
But Corsette said something earlier that made sense too. And I don't know, it was while people was talking or whatever, but the bar is low. When people are getting brownie points for doing just being an adult. We're not talking about the quality. We're not talking about the quality of the individual. We're just talking about basic adult shit. And the other thing is we romanticize these relationships that happened with our grandparents and our parents that was not necessarily healthy. They were together for a long time, but it does not mean that those relationships weren't toxic. So now that we're talking about mental health, now
it just depends on what you consider talking. Some of them were really good relationships.
I'm not saying
we're not saying that we're not like
relationships. But I'm not talking about the relationships that were good. That would be just ridiculous. I'm talking about the ones that we romanticize as toxic.
Yeah, we don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? Like, a lot of problems are people, not the system, but the system is also to blame partially in most cases, right? Like a lot of things are set up structurally to put one person in power or something like that, right? And traditionally, marriage really was like that. I think it's evolved. I don't think that we have the same exact marriage tradition that we used to have, right? I mean, you go back to like
again, women are being at this very moment. Women are being shamed for not wanting marriage.
Yeah,
women are being shamed, and that's all sides, all colors here in the United States, saying that because of our standards, that's a problem. These men are complaining about.
Well, I want to talk about that.
Every tradition that you run into is going to have something that is like valuable to a culture and something that is like divisive, right? Mm-hmm. And any of the divisive parts of a tradition.
What she said? Did y'all hear what she said? Y'all didn't hear what she said, right?
That women are being shamed?
Yeah, but it's a specific woman being shamed. And she right about that. Look at this comment right here. I was going to say something about it before she even said anything. It's happening in the comments. Look at that comment right there. Women set the standard above men with the high value 100K. You know what I'm saying? They said they purposely disqualify black men. You know what I'm saying?
Don't give well, some of those women that are making those requests ain't worth none either. That's what said before. They don't. They have no standard, but requiring a man to be a standard. They're not what they're supposed to be for that man either.
It's again on the internet.
Crazy requests.
Let me ask y'all something.
No, ma'am.
Wait.
No,
can I say something? Can I talk for a minute? I just want to talk for a minute. I'm trying to prove a point. Look what he's saying. Where do we see that stuff happening? We see that stuff happening on Kendra G and talk shows and stuff. Right. That stuff, it's not real. It's content. It's a show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But people really think that that's how black women act.
It sets expectations too, right?
I mean, never once said I need my man to make over 100. Now I said I want him to make 80K because at the time that's what I was making. You know what I'm saying? Right, and I didn't want to make too much money over him. You know what I'm saying?
Because
usually that's what women do. It's like I don't want him to have to look into my pockets or him to resent me later, so he can at least be on my same level or better. There's not women say I need to make 200K. That's not realistic. And they got 10 kids and 18 baby daddies. It don't work like that.
But you know what? Here's the deal. Here's the reason why the 100K conversation has been introduced in recent culture. It is because I think there was a time when there were many women that didn't understand that that's available. Now, because I am, like I said, I'm the parent of 100K kids, right? So they don't have conversations about, oh, I make 100K. No one says that. And in the communities where people make six figures, no one talks about how much money they make. No one.
It also doesn't.
That's why these shows are not real.
But the other thing,
when you get
black men thinking that women really walk around saying, if he don't make 100K or 200K, I don't want him. What women, y'all? I don't know no
one
women
thing,
like that.
and they take it.
And you
know,
know,
and then when you say that they're not women, that we're not looking for that, they'll straight up say to us out here on these platforms, oh, you lying. Yes. Oh, that can't be real. I'm not that can't be the case. You must have wanted something from him. You must have but we never ask the question.
But also you gotta look at the fact a lot of times people,
what is he looking for?
There are some men that make a lot of money, that there are some men that make that kind of money. And someone said that you don't have that kind of money. Well, I mean, I'm not going to bring him up. May he rest in peace. I don't want to bring it up in a nasty way, but you know, you got to remember that Nicole Simpson was swinging around the pole, and O.J. Simpson had that kind of money. Mm-hmm. And
can I throw out 100,000?
A lot of times, those guys with that kind of money do go find someone that doesn't have it like that. Sometimes
again, because that is an implicit bias. That men have been raised to believe that they have to go and fix something. They have to have the baby bird that they got to take care of. And as women, that's why our behavior and actions now are so far, and they think it's masculine. They assume because I'm loud or I'm able to do such certain things, I'm being more or less like a man. These things are still happening now in 2025. These men are still having these conversations now. It isn't that I am against marriage, love, or anything. So if anybody is taking it that way, I'm sorry that you are, but that's not it. My thing is, why can't we get inside the person? Why aren't we asking men, why do you have to play these games? Why can't you figure this out? Your brain ain't that small, and I'm tired of the excuses. They exactly like we just said. People know what they doing when they doing it. My daddy knew. I lived with one of the best manipulators. I watched him do it right there all the time with my mama. And guess what? His best friend was like that. Now, do I believe all men are like that? No, hell no. But there are, and we have more of my father types who have been the fathers and uncles to who we have now to choose from. Because I don't hear men bigging up great women. I don't hear men talking about these beautiful traditional women.
But Chocolate, that's again, I tell you all the time when we interact on the panels, you don't hear it. I hear it all the time.
Why do you think I'm here?
But it's not. But I think that's what y'all taking from it. Hold on. You're taking it from the point that I don't think that it exists. But I am talking from my perspective in our community.
Right,
but representation of good and positive relationships.
Right, but hold on. But listen to what
represented.
Listen to what I'm saying. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
In mixed company, because Daniel's sitting over here looking like my son-in-law. My son-in-aw's from Maine. So when we're in mixed company, no, listen. So when we're in mixed company, I always
tell me I'm great all the time.
Maybe I always try to make sure that it's understood. Even when I'm around my son-in-law, I'll do this in person when we're at dinners, right? I always make sure that because we're always in mixed company. So we're not going to make out like the black man, that's a majority. I'm sorry that did happen to you, and I don't ever want to be not compassionate at the fact that you grew up with that.
But that's not it. I wish I would stop doing that to me.
I think
honestly from a place.
Well, yeah, y'all gotta let each other finish because that's
I'm
how
sorry,
I'm good.
I'm sorry, Chocolate. I don't have it in me to scream too much, but I hear Chocolate, and it doesn't even have to be about black men. It's like every time we have the conversation and we try to talk about the toxicity and we try to talk about what women are actually experiencing, it gets pushed to the side so we could just talk about these oh God, I don't want to say what I'm really feeling, but to talk about these men who are so great.
Because listen, T-Labs, the reason why you want to talk about the great men, because I'm frustrated on the panels, Evo. I'm sorry, just a little bit, even from TikTok to Clubhouse on. I'm frustrated because what you put your conversation on is what you will attract.
It's not even, this is the thing. It's not even about what I am personally attracted.
No, not just you. I'm just meant as a majority.
Can we talk about the fact? Can we talk about the fact that if I were to name all the men that I know, whether it's family, friends, people I see on this pen, people I see on social media, wherever, I see certain things and everybody wants to turn a blind eye to it. And then when I have this conversation, I say, okay, tell me about the ones that you're talking about. It's always either somebody's child, like they're saying, well, my son or my this and my that, or they're talking about some family member to where you don't see the nitty gritty of it all. But when I go down the list, the married guy, my married neighbor, he's married. You see him with his wife all the time, and he talks to all the women when she's not in his presence. And then we have the ones that, may drink too much or beat the person. There's a lot of reasons why the women wanted to be in the woods with the bear, and nobody wants to talk about it. It's always, I don't understand why it can't be discussed. Like, it's not happening. It's happening. Why would we be having this conversation if it was so many great men? Wouldn't we all be married and chilling and having a whole nother conversation?
It's because in America, we're the only ones having the conversation. In other countries, it's just not.
And the great men, we're not attracted to them. Unfortunately, they don't
I'm gonna be honest. Some of us not married
don't make it
because
stir
of
up,
us.
and you're not attracted to him, and he's totally in your lane.
It ain't all of
But
men.
you feel like I don't want to settle, or that there's great men out there. There's great men that have been bad, and they have transformed and turned their life around. We got to give them credit too, just like we forgive Black China and let her have her new path. There's people that have forged new paths in their masculinity.
Why are you talking about celebrities?
I'm just saying people, just for an example. People that turn their life around.
I got a
I think it's. I don't think it's wrong to talk about celebrities exactly.
No one can understand you. No one can understand
y'all. Can't hear me?
Y'all can't hear Evo?
Oh.
Y'all really can't. I need to get louder.
Your volume is low, Evo. As usual, your volume is low.
I ain't never heard that before.
I say it every week. I say it every week, literally. Every single week.
I got a question. Y'all hear me though, right?
Yes.
I got a question. I got a 2-part question. And shout out to the Queen, Raw G. I'm about to ask you a question right after this.
Yo, what up,
I know she's about to
Raw?
put some truth in this room. So I'm gonna get this out real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
This going, hold your feelings because it's gonna hurt. Let me ask you guys something. Is it the fact that some of us are not married because it's us, and it has nothing to do with the non-male bashing? Because we do not bash men up here. But if a man say something crazy up here, we gonna get his ass. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean we male bashing. That mean watch what you say because you're gonna be held accountable for it. But what I'm asking is, because I hate that's not what it is. Every time they see a couple of Black women in the room, it's we a male bashing. Because, I'm saying, we don't have dicks on the side of our face. That's usually what it comes down to. You know what I'm saying? We all don't feel the same way, right? But could it be that some of us are not married? It don't have nothing to do with a man. It's because some of us haven't healed, right? You know what I'm saying? Some of us don't want to get married. You get what I'm saying? Like, there can be a lot of reasons why some of us are not married up here. And every issue that a woman has, what I'm trying to say, does not always involve a man. Can we agree with that? Or if y'all have some issues,
absolutely.
Y'all let me know.
Right, but that's human nature.
I disagree.
That's human nature. But the thing about it is, in reality, in my dating experiences, I'm sorry, Raw. In my dating experiences, right, I've met some on paper decent people. And then as time goes by, things have happened that has nothing to do with how I treated that individual or how I was behaving or anything like that. It has stuff to do with a lot of unhealed things in their life as well. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that I don't have my issues. I'm a human. You understand what I'm saying? But there is some stuff that's going on out here that we never talk about. And it's coming, and it's not just when people hear, I gotta tell a story. My wrist is broken. Right? I can't say for sure.
I'm sorry to hear that, sis.
If I can't say for sure if this, and I haven't been honest about it either. When people ask, I'm being raw right now, right? This person was by my side, helping me to start my nonprofit, coming to volunteer with me with the students, all of that other stuff. We used to rock out with our back out all the time. I did not see this moment coming a mile away. A mile away. I can't say if it was like he said, as far as sleepwalking was concerned or whatever, but all I know is that I looked at this scar every day. This is not coming from someone who had children and didn't have a degree and didn't have a job and lot of woo woo woo. How was I supposed to know? And so then when we're talking about this, how? I'm waking him up to go to work and he flipped out.
That's usually when it does happen. My DV, because of the show, we can't say it, but my DV, I woke up to a slap, you know. So it usually does happen from whatever demons they're dealing with, maybe while they're asleep. But once that first hit comes, it doesn't stop. I always pray. I'm sorry that happened to you, T Lounge.
Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you.
I always pray
Sorry.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
And that's situation number one. We could go through the other 22 situations if you would like to, but I'm just saying.
Wow. Yeah.
It gets turned around. I'm not a aggressive type of a person, whatever they try to say as far as things go.
You did not do anything.
You know, cooking, making sure things are straight, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Being a good friend.
It's all him. It's all him.
So there's,
you know,
I'm not gonna like excuse any person. I'm not going there. But I'm gonna point out that like there's mental illness. There's like constant justification of like guys just like promoting fighting and like having stupid reactions. Down here, I live in Arkansas now, and there's just like when I first moved down here, it was like insane to me how normalized domestic abuse was.
How common it is in Arkansas.
I live in Arkansas right now. I don't see that.
People
I live in
like
Arkansas right now. I don't see that, to be quite honest, and I've been here for a long time.
Oh no, but look at turn on your camera. Hold on, not in your coat. Not turn on your camera, Daniel.
Oh yeah, wrong culture. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, how normalized domestic abuse was among white guys.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, obviously messed up, right? And it's I don't know exactly what the root is, right? It's like a good old boy kind of culture where the women's friends would be like 5-10 days. They'd be like, "Oh, you got to get over it," and
exactly. That's why
it just gets brushed under the rug. It blows my mind that that's like. I'm a West Coast kid, and of course over there it'd be like.
Are we gonna pretend it doesn't happen in the Black culture and it gets swept under the rug?
It
does. Well, I'm sure it happens in every culture, right?
No,
I think
even in saying I don't see it is pretending it doesn't exist.
And I know my Black DB was very. Yeah.
Not really. What I'm saying is I don't see it to a large degree. They still have laws on the book right now that there's certain days of the month that you can take your wife to the courthouse in Arkansas and beat her, to be quite frank. What I'm saying is living here, I don't really see that. Having involvement in the community, in the courts and everything like that, I don't see it that often. Not to say that it doesn't happen or it's not reported.
Right, but can I say this, Raji? I didn't tell anyone until I wrote my book in 2010. No one, the majority of people didn't know. Only my close people knew. And my situation happened in 1991.
But this is the thing. Because I came up here just to do like a drive-by real quick. And talking about relationships and should women propose or whatever else. Like people have a tendency to mirror their love interest behind their parents. So if you haven't done the psychological work before you start dating and you haven't built a foundation for dating, then you're more likely to get into these relationships that are toxic and not serving. What a lot of people fail to admit to themselves is there are red flags, and people ignore the red flags. They romanticize the red flags. They make excuses for the red flags that they see. And the reality is, if people want to start getting into healthier relationship dynamics, number one, you go to therapy. Work on the issues from your childhood. And number two, stop ignoring the red flags that occur when you're dating. Not to say that it's anybody's fault per se, how somebody else reacts or responds. But if you see somebody doing something that's toxic or doesn't serve you, the first time you see that, walk away. But to sit there and put yourselves in bubbles because something has happened.
It's always best for people that have not experienced it, because I guarantee you, making a choice between walking away and a bullet in my back that may end up hitting my daughters on the way out, that walk away is not no 1, 2, 3.
Actually,
definitely
yeah.
Wow.
Actually, I mean, please don't make assumptions. Please don't make assumptions, because I've actually had charges.
No, I'm not making assumptions.
I've had charges for a domestic situation, and
I'm just saying mine was 1, 2, 3.
What I'm saying is, It's
I
never
think
1, 2,
Raw's
3.
talking about the dating part.
Yeah, I think the point still stands that if somebody feels threatened when they're trying to leave somebody, they're less likely to do it, right? I mean,
right, but the point is,
y'all let her talk.
It's
Y'all
not
might
a-
know what she's talking about if y'all let her finish a sentence. I'm just saying.
right, because the
I'm
point
just
is,
saying.
the point is when you're dating someone and someone is negatively responsive during the dating process before you have children, before you're in a position where you can't leave. How many times have people said afterwards, "Oh yeah, well they did do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, that did make me feel uncomfortable. Yeah, that did make me feel not valued. Yeah, that did make me feel good. Yeah, I should have realized that that was going to be a problem moving on down the line." But what happens is people are so desperate for love that they ignore the things that are problematic because people are not actually building foundations for relationships. People are jumping into sex. Once sex occurs, then you have soul ties, you have emotional bonds, you feel good. Now all of a sudden you're comfortable and you're in a relationship, but you didn't take enough time to actually sit there and get to know somebody, to actually sit there and observe how they interact with other people, with their family members, with you. You just jumped into a situationship and turned it into a relationship.
I
And
don't think people
I'm
have a
gonna
good
jump in
feel
with
for like what's
Raji on that
actually
one.
messed up.
That was facts. That
I
was
can't
facts.
say that
I'm
I
gonna jump
didn't
in
see.
and I'm gonna
I
co-sign
can't
with
say that I
Raji
didn't
real
see
quick
anything
because
in my situation.
I'm
But
gonna co-sign with Raji, and I do apologize for jumping in because
Hey, Nate,
Raji.
what's up?
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right.
What's up, girl?
Raji knew me at a very, very different place in my life. I only knew her through the screen and through a workspace. And when I went back to a certain situation, she noticed that I had changed. And she called me on it and she told me that I was. And I had to accept that. And when we talk about being married and proposing and stuff like that, like I said, Raji, I could have been married,
Yep.
but that is not the place that was meant for me with that
Amen.
person, with that person. And she called it and literally, like, she probably is the person who saved my life so many years ago because she was the only person that didn't hold no bars. She was the only person that didn't hold her tongue and try to be nice.
And that's the thing, like, thank you for coming up here to say that, Nate. You know what I'm saying? People don't know. People, you know what I'm saying? People don't know in real life. But, like, I don't really bite my tongue. It is what it is. You go through things, sure. But you keep repeating the same lessons over and over and over and over again until you actually get what the lesson is. The reality is each and every one of you, man, woman, whatever. If you're gender fluid, I don't give a shit. Like, you're all entitled to love and to be loved the right way. And when someone is not loving you the right way, you know what that feels like. And if you were traumatized by your parents and your parents didn't love you the right way, then you know what that feels like too. Go get some therapy so that you can know what triggers you, why you don't have boundaries set up. Set your boundaries, get very comfortable with them, make them very firm, and then stay away from people that violate your boundaries. And I'm going to tell you what, when people start doing that more frequently, and as somebody that is a survivor of domestic violence, that caught a charge and everything else, I'm going to tell you that situation has never happened again. You know why? Because I realized what the triggers were, what the red flags were that I ignored myself. I set that boundary up, and everybody on this panel damn near can tell you about the relationship I'm in. Is very good. It's very thriving. It's very prosperous. But it's a personal choice. Like, you have choices, ladies and gentlemen. You can choose to be the victim of the talking points that you hear every day, or you can choose to be a whole grown up, make the decisions that are going to be most beneficial for you for your future. Stop going for these talking points.
And then, like I said, like he said, in certain areas, yes, it is more prominent because at the end of the day, if you are going to stay, people get tired of hearing you go through the same thing over and over again. This is why there are some women like myself and like D who went through things and did not tell people. See, I didn't tell Raw G what I was going through. She could feel the energy. She could feel the switch in me. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't tell her. But if I was continuously talking to her and crying and calling her about it and I'm staying in it, eventually she is going to detach herself, which she did. You get what I'm saying? She did. And it just so happened that a couple of months ago, I ain't seen this woman in all of 4 years almost. And she popped up on here. And I can't tell you that she speaks from truth. You get what I'm saying? Like, she does. I can't let nobody, because if it was not for her input, I would still be probably where I was.
Man, big
You
ass.
have to agree with
It's
that.
not easy. I'm a hit.
But thank you for sharing the example of it.
I would have to agree with that when it comes to the DV, the person that saved you, because I had my person, it was a family member that I was isolated from, and almost the same day of being around that person, I was saved. You know, so it literally, it takes that. Sometimes they isolate you really, really far away to where people can't get to you. So that does happen also. I wish that I could say all stories are the same. You know, it drew me into my counseling and my life coaching and it drew me into that career. So I wish I could say that they've been the same, but I've heard so many stories, you know, like
No doubt. And I totally get that, right? So I want to talk to you about isolation so you can be encouraged, right?
No, but that was years ago.
No, but I'm just saying in your counseling and everything else too, because I'm sure you're still going to come across people that are isolated.
Yeah.
I moved to Little Rock, Arkansas from upstate New York. Upstate New York, where I lived for 35 years of my life. Even now, to this day, I don't have friends down here. I don't know anybody down here. But one thing that women especially need to fully understand is it doesn't matter if somebody tries to isolate you away from everyone and everything. You better be able to love yourself enough to draw on your inner spiritual man. Fall on your knees in prayer if you need to. Because even if you're surrounded by a whole bunch of people, you can be isolated within your own self. You can be isolated within the constraints of your mind. You have to have enough power within you to walk away from things that do not serve you, to protect yourself from things that harm you, and stop sitting there looking for someone to be your hero. Stop sitting there looking for someone to be your savior, because that's how people are going into relationships these days. Men and women, they're going and they're looking for someone to be a fix, to be the band-aid to the problems that they have going on in their life. You have to be a whole person. You have to be a whole person, and you have to find someone that is a whole person in order to have a thriving, healthy relationship. And when we sit here, when we sit around and we have these conversations where we're so busy trying to point the finger of blame or trying to figure out what's wrong with the other gender or whatever else, what that does is it takes the onus away from us. We give away our power every day by sitting there and trying to qualify somebody else's actions that you cannot control. Control yourself, qualify yourself, validate yourself. Y'all are worth more than enough, more than you're probably settling for and accepting right now. Y'all better get in that mirror. You is patient, you is pretty, and you is kind. You better build up your self-esteem, your self-worth, and your self-value. And that is, if you want to be married, that is when you will find the person that compliments you. If you don't want to be married, that is where you will find comfort and peace, and that as well. And no matter what anybody says to you, you will be able to sit there with the completely unbothered, like, oh, that's how you feel. God bless you and keep it moving. But anyway,
you stepped on something. You stepped in something. You stepped in that accountability thing real quick.
Yeah.
You stepped into that accountability thing. And this is where I want to go, because I had to get to the point of ultimate accountability, to the point of it's your fault for even laying down with him, baby girl. You can't even be mad at nobody but yourself. You understand?
Oh, Gila, thank you, Queen.
Yeah, she said she was silly.
She said her drive-by.
I think it's totally fair to blame a man as an abuser for being an abuser. I think you're totally right that a woman that allows herself to get into that situation, or maybe a lot of women doing that over a broad population, is enabling that behavior, right? It's promoting that behavior as a whole. I wouldn't blame them though.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame them.
That's the thing, right?
There's a way of being ignorant and you're not aware until hindsight. That's when you're aware. That's when you learn I was isolated. Oh my God, that's what it was called. Or that's a narcissistic trait. Or that's what it was called. Or I'm empathetic. That's what it was called. I'm being a what do you call a scapegoat? You don't know And if you don't know that you're being a victim
Yeah.
or that you're being victimized because you've never experienced it before until you go through it and you be like, something's wrong, or somebody says something's
and
wrong.
of course, it's great for a woman to recognize it and to get herself out of that situation, right? It's not like I would ever say that's a bad thing, but it's pretty crappy to blame her for.
I mean, at the end of the day,
may I, if that's okay?
I'm just saying, let's stay away from blame. That's all.
No, you can't. And that's what I meant by earlier about the tiptoe. There's always going to be blame. There's levels of blame. We can't pretend like it's not. Like, it is not wrong to dissect the understanding of another human being. As it was just stated, of course, we can't control you. We may manipulate. That's maybe I'll do some stuff. Maybe I'll stomp my feet. Maybe I'll cry, whatever. Or maybe he'll pull a tantrum or want to take me home and he mad, da da da. Of course, people do that, right? But what I think is missed, again, is the fact that everything you guys are saying, awesome. Get to that point, right? Love yourself. Love your partner. But if you've never seen it, what I mean about representation, and I was cut off earlier because it was assumed that I think that one culture is better than the other. I don't. What I'm talking about is we have grown up to believe black and white is on the same road. Our representation of positive relationships is nothing compared to our counterparts. Television, media, music, school, the whole nine. Yes, there's a portion of us that got the opportunity to grow up in the suburbs, to not have to deal, but they still had issues. Everyone has issues, no matter where you live. But I guess my biggest issue, my frustration, is that we sat here, heard it said several times aloud. Yeah. I'm allowing him to mistreat me when I don't know that is his intent in the first place.
I don't like the word allow.
I don't think that we, even in what we're talking about, we want to take it on. Why can't men stop making it unsafe? Why do we have to question their trust and validity?
I blame that on
the movie. Why do we not ask these questions? But why ain't you married and it's your fault? Yeah, we can dance around that all day. That's fine.
Because that's the same thing they'll ask Tina. Let's keep it 100. That's like asking Tina Turner why she's not married to Ike, right?
Right.
Yeah. Like that's like asking her why you not married to him.
You can't just like the lady with the.
Are we expecting the apex predator to care for us?
No. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted from what I'm saying.
No, but when you say why can we expect men to be accountable or be protective? They are the apex.
No. That's not what
Every time you get involved with a man, human male of any color, apex predator. That's why.
I'm asking, why haven't we as a society, the same way black women changed, the way we became most educated, business opportunities, the whole need, going back to school, 2-3 kids, going to college, master's degrees, the whole
we
nine.
Ain't we ain't hitting the men with them hot grits no more. That's the problem. Because see, the thing about it was when we was hitting with them hot grits, they wasn't putting on you no more. Okay. So this
I love you.
Listen, I'm gonna say that. Some of these men need to be scared to even pull up their hands.
And the thing about it was they was getting hit. They was getting hit for less. But this is even when we talk about our kids. Like as kids, we got whooped for less. You get what I'm saying? So as it goes, like
and then told it's for love. So this is why black women look at aggressiveness as a form of love. Think about how it was used and manipulated for us to fear. Eva was crucified up here when she said, you should fear your man a little bit.
I'm trying to make sure my man is scared to cheat on me. I want my man to fear to cheat on me. You better be scared to step out on me. I want you to see me while you with her. Like, I want you to be seeing my reflection at every corner. Like, I don't want you to think for even a moment that you got away. Because the karmic energy that I possess and the God that I serve is watching you. You understand me?
But see, this is what I mean. I am not talking about it. I will continue to stay on my horse. No one will ever push me off it. Okay? If you are not able to find out what's up with you, because we're taking a big leap and going, oh, well, women, black women, girl, come on. You know you need to let that man be a man. That's what I heard growing up. Cheating, stealing, lying, beating on you. But my neighbors, my best friend, she didn't deal with that, right? We went to school together. She lived down the street. Her family wasn't like that. What was normalized for me wasn't normalized for her. But my parents knew how to put on a good show when other company was around, but I knew the truth.
And then you find out that it's not okay because you realize that show that they were putting on was so that they could hide it.
And I ended up doing it.
You realize, but then you realize, and then she realized one day, she woke up one day and saw the light and said, this is not right.
That's exactly what my mama told me before she left this earth. She said one day she woke up and she hated him so much. Then one day she got to rattling all that stuff down to me. We was up all night. I think me and my mother talked for almost 48 hours. The stuff that she had been holding all that time and telling me about the relationship with my father answered a lot of questions for me as to why I deal in the relationships I deal in. That helped me look at me. I'm part of my mama. She got married. She got pregnant at 19 years old. She was a college student going to OSU. My parents met over the radio station. My mama called in. They liked each other's voice. It was romantical and beautiful.
Okay.
But 18 years later, that was not what it was now. And I say
almost
this
like they met on the internet, right? Almost the same thing.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. Basically.
And it has nothing, and talking about this doesn't make you.
It doesn't mean you hurt. It don't mean you hurt.
Of course I'm hurt. Hold on, real quick. I want to say that for you, baby. Hold on. I have no problem saying I'm hurt. That's why I'm single, so I don't have kids. My healing process is a lot.
Can I say something? I saw y'all in the comments talking about how y'all talk to y'all daughters and stuff like that. And I'm gonna say something about that. You have to be very careful what you say to your daughter. Because you may think you're helping her and you're not. You're giving her a bias towards life, towards men.
I'm giving my daughter very good advice.
She may envelope whatever you're feeling. Because a lot of times we don't know. We may be carrying a certain bias or a bitterness. You have to be very careful what you tell your kids, especially your daughters. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not even just that, Evo. Can I say something? And I don't mean to cut you off. And I say this because, like, I think this goes for like what we tell younger women, period, and the energy that we put out towards younger women, period. And it might be okay for the goose, but it might not be okay for the gander. The little children you have, they might not go for what you say, so we just have to be mindful that it's not just our kids, it's other people's children that we are also.
That's true. But what Chocolate said earlier, I gotta point out, we are more like our parents than anybody else. And even if we have good friends that we talk to and stuff, getting that kind of affirmation or confirmation from our parents, right, after the fact, right, her mom coming to her and walking her through, like, this was messed up. That usually means more to a kid than anything their peers can give them.
You got it. Yeah.
It also
changed everything.
in them, though.
About what?
It
but I will
also
say this, Evo.
You also may be taking your child's ability to make her own, have her own experiences, be open-minded to new things. You got to be very careful when you do it.
Right,
but
hold on real quick. What
age group are we talking about?
Hold on.
What age group?
Right, yeah. Older, hopefully. My sister was
But
my sister was like
everybody
in
has
holistic
ears.
psychology. Hold on, you guys. In holistic psychology, this is the concept that, and it happens. You can look back at all the relationships that you know. You can look at your own relationships, and you will see women marry their fathers. I mean, women marry their mothers, and men marry their fathers. I think is how it goes, right?
Yes.
So it goes that way. You see it? So
And I think that's why the last relationship that I was in didn't work out because he was used to his daddy abusing his wife and thought I was.
Say that again. I can write that down.
Women marry their mothers. And men
marry their mothers.
Other way.
Their mothers.
And women
marry their fathers.
No, she said it. No, that's not how she said it. That's not.
I did not marry my father.
But when you go,
men marry their mothers. And women marry their fathers.
Right.
The first time made sense.
We don't. Right.
But
We
when you
don't
go
want to
into
be
the toxic
comfortable
part
with
of the
that.
relationship, like when you go into the dysfunctional home, right? And it's all about the person who was the stronger personality in that home. Oftentimes you're gonna you may not want to, but you may end up being attracted to that personality out in those streets once you're out there dating.
Interrupt real quick?
We just ran into this. My daughter.
Changed it.
My daughter.
Hold on.
It is an avenue. It's not
But
what I'm
y'all
saying to you, Evo.
No, but y'all get what I was saying because y'all never let me finish a sentence. But I was just saying that, you know what I'm saying? Like I give you one. I saw my mother and my father, when I tell you they argue all the time. You know what I'm saying? But my mother never came and said, this not the man you want. You know what I'm saying? And I was able to go out into the world and make my own decisions. You get what I'm saying? And what these shows, like she didn't give me a bias. You get what I'm saying? And they were married for 34 years. But she never gave me that bias to the certain things he was doing. Like certain stuff he did, I didn't know until he died. And one of his family members told me. You get what I'm saying? Because that never came out of my mama's mouth. It was, I was supposed to stay in a child's place at all times.
You should not vent to your kids.
Biasing me, you know what I'm saying, to what was going on in adult relationships. I wasn't supposed to know what my mom and my dad
It's not just bias.
And what she said is this is that for me, and I get what she's saying, because like she said, our parents hid stuff from us, right? Our parents didn't tell us what their issues were because we were children and they didn't want to bother us with that stuff. So
I'm talking about adults.
It wasn't for us. It was in a child's place.
Right. So for me,
I was an adult,
right? I was an adult when I finally figured out what happened between my parents.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, if you're an adult and she talked to you, then that's cool.
Right.
But that's what
my parents split up, my mom.
Just a second. Hold on real quick. I just wanted to clarify that. My mother, we were adults. I was in my 30s, right? So that's why I kept saying, what age group are we talking about? But the thing about it, I was glad that she said something. I was in a relationship right then. And I don't have a problem with saying I was at that place where I was like, well, I'm 30. I was like 34. I, still hadn't had any kids. I was like, well, I guess I'll try and see if I can get married, or maybe that's what I'm supposed to do next. I really wasn't sure. So I ended up going on dating sites, that kind of stuff, because it had changed by the time I started, going back into the circle. However, yes, there is pain I will always carry for both my parents. There's not where my mother was. I'll say that now. She was a saint. Nobody can say nothing about my mama. That's my mama. But I'm honest in the fact that my mother was also a young girl. She was 19 years old, never had been away from home, was 2 hours away from home. And the reason I bring up those contexts is because we know these stories. It's not because I'm trying to make it seem like it's a bad thing. This is just it happens. We all link up in different ways. The issue is the coping mechanisms that we don't put in place when we start being in a relationship. Nobody gives us those.
Well, let me ask you something, because Ross said something about that. She said therapy. I've been saying if I don't know how many damn shows, and ain't nobody thought, and keep asking the same questions every week. What about therapy? Because Raw G said it too. And I'm pretty sure Raw hasn't seen none of these shows.
I have been in therapy. I go to therapy. The issue is, are you dealing with a population of people who are willing to go to therapy themselves? It's kind of wild when I see men suggest to women that they participate in therapy and they're not participating in it themselves.
So
that's what I was saying earlier.
I'm gonna add on to that. I think it's very funny because we were asked the question of like, what age limit are we talking about as far as what we
like age group? Yeah, because Eva, I wanted to clarify for Eva
the girls, you know that.
You know, I was in my 30s when my mama was telling me.
I talk to my daughter now.
Listen, hear me out. Just
I think you shouldn't talk to them before like 15. I would think.
Okay, so hear me out.
They're experiencing all the trauma.
But if you're biased, let me tell you something. A lot of black women don't know they're bitter.
Can I
hate to say that. A lot of us sisters do not know we bitter as hell. Excuse me, Daniel. I'm talking to the sisters right now. Stay there, because you're a nice man.
I don't think it's just black women. That's all.
Don't know how bitter we really are. And let me tell you something. Our homegirls and people, they listen to us and they be like, damn, she gonna be alone forever. And they never say nothing. So now we take that same bitterness that we don't know we have, and then we tell our young kids that, and now we don't put a bias in them where they feel like maybe men not good. You know what I'm saying? And we
that's right.
Daughters.
Well,
and that's why, you know what I'm saying? Later
my mama didn't say a word, Evo. That's right. Growing up, never.
You done messed up
never. And then when they finally do, and when you finally do tell them, right? Because Evo, like we said, and like we all agree, it was a certain age when we saw it. You get what I'm saying? We saw it for ourselves. And when we saw it for ourselves, and this is why when we talk about the age range, right? Because everybody is experiencing their awakenness at a different point in life. Some people go through it when they're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is why I say it's for every range. This is why we have to be careful the energy in what we say, because what will happen is that whoever is listening, it doesn't matter what age range, it's who's ever listening is going to pick it up, and then they are going to carry that same energy with them. So we have
you can talk about problems without being really critical, though. So two things here. Two things here.
Like, you get what I'm saying? I saw it, but my mother never came and said, well, you know, your daddy did this and this and this and this, because it wasn't my damn business. You know what I'm saying?
You should not vent to your kids.
Like, she didn't put no bias in me. I never walked to a man. No. And I saw them argue. But they argue, they married. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. It never made me have, like, she never talked to me.
Honestly.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's what
arguing's
I'm saying.
Arguing's not even bad as long as you can resolve it.
Has a daughter. Can I talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right here.
So I'm already in a broken situation. So she already feels it. She already experienced it from 6 years old. So then you don't talk about it because
you should put her in therapy.
How old is she?
She's older. She's 14.
How old is she now?
It's that 14.
14.
So now 14.
So
she's going into being around young men.
Okay.
And then young men are pursuing her. So I'm saying, well, you know.
And I got two things to say on this. When you're done.
So I'm telling her, you know, I said, well, you got to be aware. I said, you know, it's okay to have friends, you know, if they give you a compliment, but there's just boundaries that we have to have because we are focusing on school and you're doing a very good job. I said, we got to work on hard now. So when a guy pursued her, you know, like a little friend, she just was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I said, okay, let's process this. I said, do you think you're mature enough to handle this type of emotions? Do you think you're mature enough to handle a relationship? She said, no. I said, well, let's put the brakes on this until further down the line. I don't discourage her because they have their hormones. They're transitioning too. Our situation is broken. I say, respect your dad. I said, but choose a man that's consistent. I said, look at my life. I said, I work hard for you. I said, but please choose a person that is consistent. And those are good things too, that are good traits and characteristics in a man. Be aware of these things. It's going to come sooner than you think. They're already
you can
14,
respect somebody.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
but for disrespect, there's no disrespect there.
And this is where I say it's for all
that's
the
just
ages.
general.
You
But
know
that's
what
not
I'm
what
saying?
You can respect somebody while still recognizing their
about
flaws.
that though. I was talking about
no, but
when
I'm just saying because that's just my situation.
To men
I
like
know,
their
yeah.
daughters.
Right.
Okay.
I know exactly what
That's
you're
what we
talking
talking
about.
And I
about.
still pull her into the kitchen. I'm like, all right, let's cook. Let's serve your brother. Let's serve grandpa. So I still try to encourage her, even though
that's
the
not what we
situation
talking
isn't
about,
ideal,
Stephanie.
to be
We're not
happy.
talking about
No,
that.
but still that's a part of it too, because a person may not do that in my situation. You know what I'm saying? Because they see their little girl as their best friend, and then now they just, you know what I'm saying? But I don't.
about adult stuff.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like she said, the child's place and the mother's place. I'm not gonna blend the two. You know what I'm saying? Until that time comes where I'm leading and guiding her. Right now, I have to be her mom so that she can get to that place, so she can function as normal as she can in society. Okay,
right.
And be safe
what
on her
Stephanie
own.
is basically saying is that
choices.
regardless of what her own bias,
Who said it before that women marry their fathers?
Her daughter.
Yeah, I'm not pushing off. She's very
not
respectful.
telling her. She's not saying, baby, this. She's just saying,
even though it is
are
that,
you
put it down. I won't
ready? Are you prepared to deal with what comes in a relationship? And what
that's
happens?
something totally different than what I was saying.
Right.
But that's
still what we're talking about is that
that's just where she went with it. She took off on her plane. My sister took off on her plane.
That's my situation because
Yeah.
inside sometimes
I
want that.
it.
But
Hey,
you know, I had to learn, like Miss D said, you have to learn, you have to relearn. I had to reconfigure. You're like, wow, what's a narcissist? Or what's abuse? Or what's this or that? Why did I choose this person? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have to formulate it in a way where I'm not dumping any trauma, because I had to dump all that out and restart all over again and say, okay, now I got to break this generational curse that's trying to come up on my family, and I have to deal with it very gently, have the respect. They have to have their own eyes open, but still respect their father and not talk bad about him. Let's check in on him. Let's go see the grandpa that he had the messed up relationship with. So we fixing, we plugging holes everywhere, because that's my strength to want to bring everything together, even though it's like this. But
same side, opposite of that.
To have that respect and resiliency. They checking in on their own grandpa. Hey, grandpa, what's going on? Their own dad won't even talk to them. So now my children, because of their love and respect, they do that willingly. You know what I'm saying? So it's a hard juggle, but it can be done. And you have to, like you said, dispose of the bitterness for the sake of the children, so that it could be as normal as possible. And it's hard.
Can I answer your question?
The angry stuff.
Can I answer your question on
the things I heard. You know what
So
I'm saying?
I've got a 19-year-old daughter that's just started college, and same kind of thing, right? Like I had her when I was 19 years old, and her mom and I split up when she was 8, and never once have I like sat around and badmouthed her mom to her, because that's not good for her, right? You split up with your partner, all that matters is your kid. You do whatever is necessary to make your kid have a good life. And part of that,
excuse me,
now,
can I answer his question after he finished? I'm sorry. I just want to answer that question.
I want to ask
after like you said, women marry their fathers, and that's I mean, maybe it's not a hard rule, but that's pretty true. Like she started dating this asshole in college. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to say that word. And
no, it was just funny. Go ahead.
He was just like me. He was just like me. And I look at this kid, I'm like, he's not like me now, but he's like me when I was like 19, when I was a dumb kid that was raising this daughter, and I did a poor job. I mean, I loved her to death, but I was also too critical and too short patience, right? So, you know, like I didn't go through and say like good job enough and all kinds of like proactive stuff. I'm like an engineer, so I try to like solve problems all the time, and I was an idiot. And yeah, I recognize that now. So what do I do when I talk to my kid about this jerk that she's like going over? He's like kind of a total narcissist, actually. Not exactly like me, but he's got like these same mannerisms where she's looking for affirmation from him, right?
Mhm.
She wants him. She like takes any of the positive feedback he gives and she like puts it on a pedestal. And when he doesn't give it, she just sits there like trying harder, right? And it's agonizing to me, like to watch it, right? So yeah, I sat down and I talked to her. It's like, honestly, like these people are just manipulative. Like they're just looking to get. They know what they're doing, right? They've trained themselves to do that. Even if they're not even aware of it, they've probably done it so much they don't even know what they're doing anymore. They just do it automatically. They're not healthy people because they just leech, right? They're just a freaking drain. They don't give anything. They just take.
I have a question.
It's important. It's important to teach your kid what was wrong with me when I was young. What's wrong with their parents? You don't have to bash their parents to do it, right? It's important to teach them because those are the role models that they had. And if that's what they're basing their next relationship off of, hopefully you can show them like what was wrong with that, right?
Yeah,
But
to Eagle's point, Daniel, using making sure that you're doing it. That's why she says use the therapist, because you need to do it age appropriate. I think so.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Miss the
but
age
there's also
once she turned 18, she's with the narcissist. Your simple answer, Daniel, narcissism cannot be cured. We have fought for years trying to cure narcissism, and you can't. The only person that can get therapy in a narcissistic relationship is the person that's not the narcissist. That's
and
it.
this is the thing that I want to ask a question to the panel real quick, if you don't mind.
And then if I could go after you, please.
Yeah, no problem. Real quick, have you all researched what how narcissists are made, like what parents do to cause someone to be a narcissist? Have y'all really researched it? Because
I have, and I've also like witnessed it on a lot of different like scenarios as well. So
it doesn't always come from
that was my dad.
I wanted to get
it
into
doesn't
that.
always come from parenting, but I'm just saying if you were
No, it might mean. I mean, you're right on the family line, but sometimes it's genetically passed down. I mean, sometimes it's skipped, and then it may have been the great grandfather.
Yeah,
like it goes deep.
Okay, so can I say something?
I'm sorry.
Your answer. Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to answer it for her. Okay, because I'm being like completely transparent at this point when I tell you that it's genetic, right? I come from two parents that are narcissists. What I have realized, however, is that they know how to control their narcissistic ways. Okay. My grandmother and my grandfather are also very narcissistic from my point of view on what I watched. Because
I just want to clarify something, please. I just want to clarify that it's not genetic. It's a cluster B personality disorder. And the reason why
it's nurtured. It's not nature.
It's absolutely nurtured. I just
it's nurtured.
Clarify.
Okay. So we're gonna because I get what you're saying. So we're gonna bounce off of that. So it's a nurtured behavior, right? But as we get older, right, and as we become more enlightened, we see that behavior and we start to oppress it in ourselves because we realize that it's not healthy for the community. It's not healthy for the people around us. And I know that I have narcissistic ways because even with that said, I've lost 2 of my infant children. And guess what I say? I'm so narcissistic. I'd be like, I birthed angels. You get what I'm saying? So, but it's my way of turning what people try to make negative into a positive. I had angels. You get what I'm saying? So that's my narcissistic.
I don't think so.
Can I jump in there for a minute? I want to give y'all the answer. They say it's a genetic. They said it's a complex interplay of genetic predisposition, environmental factors, and potentially negative childhood experiences.
That's correct.
So it's basically low self-esteem sociopathy, but you can definitely develop it. But there are genetic predispositions.
Right, there are genetic predispositions.
Let me just throw my psych degree out.
It's neurological in nature.
It's
I can break it down more if y'all want me to.
No, it's neurological in nature, and everything that Evo said just pretty much sums it up. It's neurological in nature. Oftentimes, when you take a look at, I know we don't like to do famous names, but sometimes the stories are helpful. Aaron Hernandez, the football player, and when they donated his brain and neurologically, they took a look at it, and he had a gray mass in the back of his head. So what we study in psychology, when you take a look at some of the neurological parts of it, if the more gray mass in the back of the brain, it's so important that you get an MRI on your brain. Sometimes what you're going through has a lot to do with what's happening in here. And it's so important that when our loved ones died, that we donate the brains to research. I did that with my mother, right? It's so important that we do that so that they can go further and do more with it over the years. But the larger the gray mass, the worse the decisions in life are. Their decision, they tend to do more things. And if we look at if we look at the
what is that Z?
If we look at
I'm so sorry. What is that ZT? The concussion thing? That's what he had.
Well,
they said he had that.
Well, when they looked further into it, it could have been the concussions, but also was genetic. It was also genetic, and
I wanted to add
that gray matter, and the larger the gray matter, the more erratic.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
That's what I was gonna ask you later.
The trauma only sped up what happened is what it is. Is that the brain trauma only sped it up? So it can't.
I want to give.
There's some genetic factors. There's some genetic factors that come into play when it comes to these personality disorders, and it's dependent on things like, having twins in your family, so on and so forth, or how your brain is shaped and things like that. But overall, it's environmental, it's behavioral, and it's related to anxiety. That's why it's a part of the cluster B personality disorders.
That's why I wanted to ask you.
We have an outdated DSM. We have an outdated DSM-5.
Yes, we need a DSM.
I just wanted to. I did want to add to that because
the only reason why we're not, and the thing about it is that because of what we've seen in our history, because I put it in here and I know it might not pop up till later, but as far as like the Tuskegee trials and stuff like that, that's why a lot of our people don't want to be
hesitant
involved in stuff because we feel like we're just a test. We're just
it was intentional to put that in the media to make us fear medical. I promise it was intentional.
And like even because when like COVID broke out, I was in Georgia and they were literally trying to pay the kids without going through the parents, just to pay the kids to get the shot. And in my little conspiracy theory mind, I was like, they're probably taking from us and then using us to fix them because I'm not sick. You get what I'm saying? So you're probably taking from me to go and fix them.
I like to trust the science, but I do know that when you look at, that's why they love to push Mandela effects. So
and then a lot of people
do one thing in one era and then they'll come and say it another way in another era and say
even what I said, like when I was, they told us that it was a black doctor that they said it was a black female doctor that found the cure for COVID is what they told us in the area I was living. And then because I'm from somewhere else, I'm listening to everybody else.
Y'all can't say the word. I meant to tell y'all gonna see the virus. My bad.
Oh, the virus.
Really?
Okay.
You have to say,
can you guys mic check? Can you guys hear me okay? All right, awesome.
But this is why I said, like, I'm still very skeptical. You know that they even tell you give your child, give your black son, and I'm gonna say this and be quiet. Your black son, do not give him the measles, mumps, and rubella shot all in one, because that is what causes autism in our black men, because that shot is like a cocktail. So think about it as a grown-up. That's like you drinking gin and drinking Sky vodka and you drinking Hennessy, it ain't gonna sit well. And you better watch what they putting in you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Absolutely. And I have all children that went through that, and my son was affected. So I've been affected on all levels. So y'all sitting here saying, yeah, I've been there. Okay,
well,
okay. But
right.
you do have to be that app. Like, you have to get educated. We got to get educated. We got to read. We got to go to therapy. We got to get better, because there's this thing that this lady called, I don't know her name, she said it's an intersectionality attack on people of color. So it's not just, it's the school system. No, it's the school system. It's the healthcare system. Everything. It's the educational system. It's the family thing that they have. It's a cultural thing that they have. It's a nationality. So it's the Constitution. It's so many things that we have to become aware about, and become aware about ourselves, what we can and cannot take within ourselves. Well, I must be allergic to peanuts. Okay, I can't do that. So we know that some of these things cause immune responses on purpose. So if I'm not feeling it, if I feel like my first gut said not to get with that dude, and that first gut which is your stomach, say don't take that jab, I'm not gonna do it. And I don't care. And you're not going to give I know he needs to go in school. Okay, fine. But we're going to come here for this one shot, and we'll be back in 3 or 6 months to get the rest. Because I determine what happens with my kid. You got to take authority back in these systems. Oh, your son, he has to drink milk for calcium. What do the cows eat to get the calcium? Grass. Okay, so that don't mean that milk has calcium. That is a mineral. Okay, so you have to collard green. There's in so many other things, man. I'm sitting there like, okay, you don't make no sense. So I had to do what was right for my child, because my son did not want to drink milk. I don't care. I don't care if I put chocolate in. I don't care if I put almond milk. He said, I don't want it. So I can't force and put all my confidence into somebody, and my baby said is not receiving it. So I have to see what my child wants. He don't still drink milk to this day. And really, you're not really supposed to drink milk anyway after infancy anyway. And we do it as a culture, and it's not good. But we come aware of that, and we just need to get educated. We're perishing because of lack of knowledge on a lot of things.
I'm glad that you said that, Steph. And I wanted to ask you this question. So why do we fight back when we say we should be giving people opportunity? We should be, that's what I mean by representation. You said we need education on that. We don't even have channels that talk about it. Cable, non-cable, even on YouTube. Not on, this is what I meant about representation of those social cues, the red flags, the green flags, because we also have that as well. Like, some people are afraid of people who are good to them. Some people can't or being in a relationship with somebody. So
you have to get out your own way, but that's like you said, that's something within you. That's it does get scared. A guy challenged me on that.
Is that somebody talking, or is that background?
I'm trying to figure out what's going on too. Like, let's see.
Can you guys hear me? Is it coming through okay? Okay.
There's like a whole nother conversation going on. Go ahead.
A whole nother conversation.
I'm sorry. Look, my earpiece thing.
Sorry.
Oh, it's Queen Goddess. You got to mute up.
Yeah.
Gotta wait for it. You can mute her.
Okay. What I wanted to share with the two ladies that, of course, in the science of this, in the study,
I just had to go digging for it. I'm sorry. I just had to go digging for it. That was just me. For the knowledge.
What happened? I'm sorry, I didn't miss what was you digging for? I missed that part.
But you said you don't see the representation. Well, I had to go find it. I didn't wait for anybody to represent it for me. I went to go look for it. When I learned about autism, I read it, I studied it, stuff that I wasn't even thinking about before.
Can y'all read this comment for me right here?
Our children, right there. Y'all see that? Our children are suffering living strictly with women and no male energy, and women's control issues and no balance. Men want to correct it if women are down as well. Ooh, please.
Go ahead,
please. All right. Yeah. Sir, can I ask you a question? Since you are aware that there are women living alone and the male energy is out, so where are all the dads? Where'd the dads go? Did
That's
the
what I was
moms
thinking.
take them out back and throw them in the sea? Are they all in jail?
I was thinking that.
I'm sorry.
I asked that question.
Did they leave them
I
for
said, where
another
are the
woman?
daddies?
Oh,
Where
maybe another man. Or maybe they didn't want kids. Wow, this stuff really happens. I don't know how we got out here and started pretending like what was going on.
I was thinking
it's still going on. Sir, this is where our words collide because y'all want control. It ain't even about the wording anymore. You have left it that you want to see us in a submissive, pardon the pun, position. Stop being loud. Stop wearing eyelashes. Don't wear wigs. No BBLs. Don't get too skinny. Don't get too fat. Please. Don't talk to your friends. Don't go outside. You're mine now. I appreciate you. I love you. I'm gonna love bomb you. Oh, me calling you 10 times a day, that's healthy. Come on.
Good morning,
Can I give him the benefit of the doubt?
So I can
take
money from you.
He said that he phrased that in a really stupid way.
Yeah, that was terrible.
But
that was really bad how you put that. I was like, what?
No,
but it's important. But it's important to have both parents present for other reasons. I think I wouldn't say it's important because of male energy. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I think it's more important just to have a male representative to like just make it so you're not like weirdly.
Men don't listen to each other. Y'all gaslight each other.
No, I just mean like having kids grow up in a household without a father present gives them like weird dynamics about men. Like they sometimes get oddly like socially obsessed with like having a father figure, or they get no, I just mean like
but you'll never get away from this. No one chooses their parents. No one chooses their nature and nurture until they're old enough.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying that men need to be fucking present and
but they're not
raising their children.
To be present. They're not raised to be present in our
right. It's a progressive problem, right? Like as you were saying before, like they don't have those role models. There's no.
It's wild to talk about balance.
It's the women. It's us talking about this. The depth of it. I don't hear men talking about that.
But the answer
about which?
Whatever color they may be
balance and have an emoji with the scales in it. And then when we're talking about equity,
I asked the question. I promise I asked the question, panel of men. And I said, why don't you guys do things for each other so that you can find your way through vulnerability, whatever you're going through? If you don't want to talk to a woman, talk to another man. If you don't want to go to therapy, go to a friend. We didn't do these studies. Men said it's hard for them to have close relationships. Yes, there are women who have no close friends. Got you. But the majority of the time, women will find a common ground.
It's an insecurity thing for guys.
In the bathroom, we're gonna be like, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?" Or we're gonna try to jump in and help those type of women.
Right, yeah. Right. But chocolate, the answer.
Guys are in competition.
You guys haven't said the answer yet. The answer to what he said in his response about, okay, so women are living with women and men are not there, then stand up as a mentor in your community. And
they don't want to do that.
Some men just want to complain.
They just want to talk about it.
They just want to complain.
Wait, is this me? That's not what I said.
Not you.
Okay.
Some men just want to complain. They never.
Yeah, we're talking about the guy in the comments. Like, be the mentor in the community for those. When you say, "Well, I can't do it," well, then grab a couple of your brothers and get as many of them as you. If there was enough. If you feel that that's a problem in what you see in your community, then you get enough men to step up. You know, the Boys and Girls Club can do it all. So you can, from community, street to street, because I saw it happening and we never had, the widows had someone available. The single women had someone available. My dad was one of those persons. So there was never not enough mentors in the neighborhoods that I grew up in. So you don't point fingers and complain. You stand up and do something.
My thing is, it's not about, I'll leave that where it is, because we seem to have this issue with just taking it as it is. It's not an L if we just say that, yes, of course we want positive relationships, but there are more negative than not. And then we want to sit up, we say, don't blame nobody, but then you sit up and say, oh, well, you need to go read for yourself, or you need to go find out. What's the point of us getting together then? What's the point of the sisterhood? What's the point of talking about it? If you individually, if you need assistance, if you need to talk to another woman that's gone through what you've gone through, whether y'all sisters, friends, or whatever, just to have a bounce, we do this naturally. So when did all of a sudden we looking over on the other side of the table, and when have men demonstrated that they can do that? So that's why I don't expect. I'm not looking for.
It goes back to what you said before. Men don't go to therapy. Men don't talk to each other about their problems like that. Men complain about stuff, right? But they don't admit fault when they're talking about it. They're not trying to improve themselves.
That is exactly why they drive.
They're just complaining, right?
But sir, this is why you have all these men complaining out here. You got them all over social media, and I'm not talking about no Pookies and Ray Rays, whatever color they may be. We're talking about scholared men who are supposed to have some sense, telling other men that it's okay to disrespect women. It's okay to.
What I think the biggest problem is,
want to have a baby or be in the kitchen, then she's a man. Like, this is really happening in real time, and it's affecting relationships between the ages of probably between 35 and I'd say at the most 55. Where all of a sudden
there are a lot of guys.
We are struggling for power.
I talk to my friends about my problems all the time, but there are a lot of guys that do it. But the biggest problem is that behavior of not admitting any fault, just always being right, always being like the Donald Trump. You are associating that with like the ultimate of masculinity. Like that's what it is. It's like the alpha male. That's that characteristic. Like they are the ones that they are the representative of like what guys are supposed to aspire to. There are a lot of guys that talk about problems. I mean, they're like,
but nobody is. Hold on, I just want to say this. Excuse me,
well,
Evo.
Hold on, Evo's talking.
I'm about to go. I promise. I'm about to go.
I wanted to tell y'all. I've been telling y'all over 80 shows what that is. I put it like this. I'm uplifting women. Do you know if I talk about every one of you women, you know how many followers I'm at? You know how many subscribers I would get for putting all y'all down? Y'all know how hot I would be right now if instead of uplifting y'all, I would go ahead and just bash women all together. You get what I'm saying?
The grift is real. Okay, well, thank y'all. Good night.
Talking about black women, calling them the worst thing in the world. It's the new bag.
I love my sister.
I've seen it a million times. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Kendra G. I could go on and on. You get what I'm saying? I ain't
look at the Breakfast Club and what we just saw this week. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, anytime you put women against each other, it's the new bag. You go viral. I choose not to do it because I'm a woman and I know. You know what I'm saying? How that nonsense feels. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, well, I ain't gonna tell y'all all that. I'm just gonna say that's the new bag. So you can't put too much.
Right, because a lot of it, I know, a lot of it is show.
Because it's a game. It's a bag. It's something to get people money up.
Yeah.
It probably ain't even personal at this time.
No, they
talking each other up.
They get together and they have drinks and they talk about how toxic they're going to be on their show the next day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Talking each other up is good. Guys talk each other up all the time, but they're only celebrating the negative quality, right? I mean, well, I shouldn't say only, but that's the problem. Like it's a big promotion. I mean, I guess I haven't really
thing that makes you go viral. So we can't go by by that. That's
So
why I keep saying, yo, if you keep ingesting that stuff every day, you know what I do? I sit at work, or if I'm here on my day off and I'm doing work, I'm making content, I listen to it all day long. I be in the room with the misogynist. I be in the room with the everybody. I go in everybody's room and I listen to it and I take it in and I come up with new concepts and new ideas for this show.
A positive way to spin what you're out there talking.
Yeah, I'm gonna spin it. Matter of fact, this topic right here wasn't my topic.
Yeah.
This was a topic that was in one of those male bashing places that they, one of those lies. Those men said, what was it? It was like, how dare women feel like they too good that they can't propose to a man? I was like, what?
What?
They didn't know what it was. They was waiting for me to blow up like I used
It came
to.
from a guy's side? That's
Which
funny.
is what made me popular. You know what I'm saying? They was waiting for me to go off. I sat right there. I said, no doubt.
Because it's 2025 and we are being silent.
If a woman proposes to me, does that mean my mom has to pay for the wedding? Is that
I don't even know at this
point. Shame on you.
It means you need to take it up the butt once.
We can't ingest that negativity.
On you.
We all have to try pegging once.
That's why I keep saying therapy.
I'm waiting.
Okay, I'm gonna have to log off if you're gonna be acting up.
No, we just call it a proctology exam. You'll get old someday.
I like that spin on what he said because literally, let's switch off the dynamics of that at this point, right?
I think the problem with most guys is just like a lack of confidence, right? I mean, like they're proving themselves constantly. It's always like this big race and stuff. Like, why do you have to, honestly? And you kind of have to in the community because they all just like freaking fight constantly. If there isn't like any just like stepping outside and rising above it entirely. But
a lot of
I don't
them
know.
are competing with the women they're supposed to love. And I'm still trying to figure out why is that happening.
What'd you say?
White witches?
A lot of men are competing with the women that they're supposed to love. And that's why we can't.
You know why? Because it's all this about doggone prizes.
Already written in here.
It's all this talk about prizes,
revelations, yeah.
And that means doggone game. You mean prize? What game are we playing? So we're talking about who's the prize.
I can't believe that. I can't believe I overheard a conversation like that, and I just think my father just rolled over in his grave, like, what?
Like, what is going on? I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of this, and because I don't understand it, and I'm a very understanding person. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't understand it, I've checked out. You know what I'm saying? I have just checked out because I thought it was just on social media. Then I heard it and seen it kind of bleeding over into real life, and I'm just like, this is absolutely. And it used to be a time when when men used to be able to be like kind of on top of it, or like at least aware that this is like a ploy, you know, but they just going along with it and everything. And women, but it's just like it's real out here. I don't know what the end goal is, but they want us beefing for a reason. I'm fully
well. I think that 2025 is designed to be as chaotic as when they're all looking at the digital circus. There's powers to be that are very as the digital circus moves in one way or another, they make a lot of money, right? So they buy stock based on the things that we make topics. So
wait, it's down there, and I'm trying to figure out what she's saying is not true or no proof, because I don't know when she.
What'd you say?
I said, now Chocolate's down there, and I'm trying to figure out what she said.
I didn't see what Chocolate said.
No, and I don't know what comment. I didn't see when she dropped it to know what comment she was referring to.
I can't see the chat.
If she wants us to know, she'll come back up.
Yeah, but I don't know what's going on, and it's just.
But you get right now. Dark is matter of fact, I always like to suggest a movie. Pay attention to what Hollywood is doing right now. Pay attention to the government is funding a lot of movies And the movies that they're funding right now and the series that they're funding, pay attention to what they want us to know. 0 Day is a good start.
0 Day.
A lot of the topics, a lot of people, Evo was hitting it on it a minute ago. A lot of it I really want everyone to go watch 0 Day. Please.
Where would you find it? I hope it's on the same platform.
It's on Netflix. Angela Bassett is the president of the United States. That's why I was watching it, because Angela Bassett is the president. She said it's on Netflix. It's called 0 Day. I want everyone to please watch that, because that's kind of where we're coming. Watch that one, because in March, in a couple of days, we have Viola Davis with one that everyone needs to watch that one as well. And that one I think is going to be I don't know what that's on. I think it's Netflix. But
it's on the same show?
No. 0 Day is with Angela Bassett as the president of the United States. That's on Netflix. And then Viola Davis, I think hers comes out 26th or 27th of March. But right now you have a lot of powers to be that are paying, that are funding entertainers to distract with some. So like you just said a minute ago, you hit it hit it, Evo, the Book of Revelation. They are paying a lot of people to do a lot of crazy things and say a lot of crazy stuff to distract us from something. When you see 0 Day, you're like, oh, that's what they need us to be distracted.
I'm like, you're over here if I got enough and watch it tonight.
You have to watch.
No,
it's
that's
the last
really
two
on a lot of things,
because the last 3 episodes will fully explain it, and it's a limited.
Wait a minute, it's a series. Is that
okay? So it should have been a movie, but they broke it up into like 8 episodes. It's only one. It's not going to be season 2 or 3. It's just it's a limited series. But it's those last 3 that tell you exactly where we're at. You also see a lot of the warnings going on. So as we're distracted with those negative topics, also like Stephanie said, pay attention, do your research, be aware, because they are literally trying to when you see, y'all just talked about
listen to me.
What we're taught in schools, right? He just did an executive order today that says that the Department of Education no longer exists to protect what you learn in schools and don't learn it. Now every state is going to decide. So if you are a person that doesn't want vaccines, you get to now move to a state that won't that says your child doesn't have to have a vaccine, because he disbanded the Department of Education today. It's completely gone. So it's just so much happening in 2025.
About that is that means that it goes back to the state. And yeah, where me and Evo, we live in a state to where that's not going to be problematic. We pay a lot of state taxes, but places that don't pay a lot of state taxes, or places that we help support, I just don't even understand. Like, it's just so
it's going to be chaos. He says it all the time. If you pay attention to, I know people get distracted by the conversations that they have, but if you listen to the little small things that Trump and Elon say all the time, something that they've said since last year, he always says it's going to be really, really bad before it gets good.
I've heard him recently say that.
We're going to destroy it all before it gets good. So you got to listen to
this is why I went can shopping. I bought mad cans of food just in case of that blackout coming soon. I know it is.
Instant coffee, beans, you like get all your dry goods. Make sure that you, matter of fact, everything that you see them get together in 0 Day, write it down. I kept writing down. Every time I saw her do something, I was like, we're gonna need that too. We're gonna need that too. So write it down. When you watch that series, that's all. That'll be the simple way of telling y'all. So because we all get something, God gives us all a different message, right? So you watch it and you may get something different from it. But what I saw,
don't forget to get your soul right. That's what you really need to get right. Yeah, because you're gonna have to choose your side
and know who's your sister person.
And all this stuff has already been told to us. It's just there. And sometimes I just sit here sometimes, or I just watch, and I'm like, man, people are just wasting their time. Like, just not really talking about nothing. You know, it's not nothing new. Nothing new.
They want you single. They want you distracted. They want you to be away from each other because you're not going to have protection. They know that guy in your home is your protection.
Yes.
So well, I mean,
like that's why I'm like baffled that people don't see. I'm surprised at the brothers that don't see the plot. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's wild to me. Like my father and his people, my father, old school 5%er. You know what I'm saying? He'd have picked up on this so fast.
and it made your head spin. You know.
But I'm saying I've been knowing like this stuff since I was a kid, like a child. You know what I'm saying? So when you see it, you're like, "Wow, that's what they've been teaching me all this time in church."
That's what they were trying to get
be
us
aware.
ready.
Your discernment is there. You know what I'm saying? So it's very hard. It's hard when you sit and nobody listens to you, and you're the one that has the tinfoil hat on, knowing about listen to you until it's time to be listened to. Like, oh, she was right. So it's very hard to sit in these situations. So like sometimes just saying things little by little, it's like, okay, we do need to get this right, because at the end of the day, maybe there'll be moral decisions that we think that we ain't gonna do that we may do.
You may
that
have
we never
to
thought we had to do.
You may have
but
to
we
do
may
some
do.
things that you may have to, because if you haven't, write this one down also. If you don't know the history of, then I want you to write down Liberia. And I want you to write down what America did.
To Liberia, quite aware. They're doing it. So it's a repeat. Yeah.
So Liberia could happen. And are you prepared when you sit up on these panels and you talk about, I'm not going to be with the Nigerian. I'm not going to be. If Liberia happens, if America does Liberia, and he just put another law yesterday that says that almost the majority of our African countries have to do more than a passport and additional visa restrictions and things like that just to come over. So if Liberia happens and they decide that we get picked up and put on those planes that you see ICE picking people up and putting them on, if they, instead of Liberia, it was America put us, on boats and sent us over to Liberia. And if you just do the research on Liberia, when the slaves were free, they decided to send a bunch of us to Liberia because they didn't want us free. So now that yesterday he did away with what? He undid the 1960 segregation law. I'm not really, so you get what I'm saying? So he said all last year, I read all of Project 2025 and I'm just checking it off, doing it all. And he said, I'm going to take it back to 1798. Well, in 1798, again, you look at these times when they put us on you're free. Okay, that's fine. In the times when they said that we were free, then they put us on boats and they kept sending us over to Liberia. Do the research on Liberia. And then eventually it got so bad in Liberia, they started making their way back into America. And that's how you see us today. But there was a time when they instantly got rid of us. So you don't know what's going to happen. So stop saying what you won't do and who you won't be with. Like, we're too adamant about what we won't do and who we, like, you don't know what kind of relationship you might have to be in. There may not be a proposal.
Yeah. Take what you can get.
Gosh, I hope it's not the person I had a dream that I was running through the streets with. But it might.
Did he have teeth? Did he have teeth?
It don't even matter at this point.
All different countries, you don't know which one is going to take us in, right? So whatever country you go in, you may have Asian husbands as your only choice, boo. You may have a Russian husband as your only choice. Like, people need to really get off of these strict lists. I think someone was talking about the list earlier. Like, come off those lists, because I'm telling you, what we're into and what we're facing, it's different. It feels different.
She was a little bitty girl then. Oh, hombre, I don't know where you be at, but still, exactly. Even not talking about going somewhere. Yeah, stop being loyal to whoever. Go where you're celebrated, okay? And not tolerated, celebrated.
Yes.
That's number one. Because we're all humans, okay? We're just humans. But even
know your
Mr.
sister
Gates,
city. If you're in New York, you should know your
we
sister
will all
city.
need digital IDs. This was stated.
But say that. What you mean by?
I was with Jersey, wasn't it?
Now 2028.
No. So you go to where you guys? Well, what's it? It depends. I don't want you to put your locations on here, but you go to BronxSisterCities.com, or you go to AtlantaSisterCities.com, or you go to AustinSisterCities.com, or DenverSisterCities.com, or Dallas Super. I'm just trying to think of Alabama Sister Cities. There are sister cities for every city. There is especially a major area. There's a sister city. Mine for Austin is Iota, Japan. And then there's a city in France. Like, you need to know.
It's not even in the.
Why? Why do you need to know that?
Because you want to connect with individuals in those areas, so that if somebody tells you you have 10 days to get your Black A out of our country, you need to know your people over there. You need to know your person that says, okay, I got you, girl. We'll meet you at the border. We're going to be there when the flight lands. You need to know your people. You need to know your sister cities. You need to know how to connect, because people stay so married to just where they live. And we live in a world where that's not promised. You saw California, in a matter of minutes, they had to go somewhere else. And a lot of them are living in Texas and living in Colorado. They're living in different places now because their homes burned completely down. You don't know what's going to happen. So you got to start thinking. I'm not trying to put fear in people, because God is always in control. God is always in control. I don't want anybody listening. God is always in control, but you still have to plan. The military teaches what? A failure to plan is a plan to fail.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Carl always said contingency. Now he don't sound so crazy, right?
He don't sound so crazy.
Contingency, everybody.
A failure to plan is a plan to fail. You have to be willing to put your biases aside. You have to stop being so married to who they said hate us. I guarantee you, if it's something were to go down, Mexico's going to love on you more than you think. If something's going to go down, Canada's going to love on you more than you're being told. If there's different places that are going to love on you, Japan's ready to love on you. Ghana says you can have free land. So I don't know what.
Tell you something. I'm gonna give me one of them apartments with the balcony, and you're gonna see me with the
I'm going to
Ghana.
And okay. Ghana is not talked about enough, but it already has. Within a year or two, they already have the next Wakanda, as we saw in the movie. Mm-hmm. They have a technology.
Wakanda Forever?
Yeah, Wakanda Forever. They have a technology that they've been working on, and they actually, if you know Jennifer Lewis, the actress, she fell and had a very bad fall, and that technology was put in her hip. So they're very
vibranium. Listen,
right, almost like that, right? Almost like that.
Evo, so just remember, when you seeking out where you want to go, remember you are a coastal being. Okay, so your breathing and stuff is going to be affected. So make sure you think of the coast,
right,
as well. Consider the coast.
Yeah,
look up the coast.
Yeah, just do your research as to, you have to be near the water, I think is what she's saying. Like you probably need to be in regions that are, like Jamaica, and like just you want to be close to.
We're on the coast, and believe it or not, the way we breathe and all that other stuff is
it'll be, you'll have to act. It'll be
in the desert and stuff like that.
You have to change, but you think of military life, we learn to change. We go to different places and regions and you adapt. But
you gotta know where the water's at.
I'm just saying consider it. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, but let's not dismiss every culture of people out there. Sometimes you might need that guy. You might need that husband to be possibility in another country. You may need to consider here, because you just have no idea what's going to happen. And I want the best for us. I want us to win. I want us to not go down. But when you have people, he put a video on his X account, and it showed the destruction. I don't want to bring that city up because it could cause a lot of people to come in your comments, but it showed the destruction of that city. It's a city that's actually at war right now. He showed the destruction of the city in the video. Elon Musk, directly on his X, he showed the complete destruction of that city. And then at the end of the video, it showed the beauty and the Dubai and the smart city look of that same area. And he said, tear it down to build it up. And I was like, wow. Well, what is he trying to tell us? And that's literally where they are right now. They don't believe in highways anymore. They want to take the highways down. Like, the tearing things down is the movement right now. The jobs, stop saying that. I mean, the jobs are going down, people.
And if you really look at what they're doing, the jobs, I know they keep talking about the farmers and all the other stuff. That's the propaganda. The real attack is on us.
Jobs. The USPS, the government, USPS, VA, that's attacking Black jobs. Like, he tried to
Black women, when they were talking about the Black jobs and Black, like these
teachers,
yes,
education, government, USPS. When you look at all of the retail stores, I have a list. I'm doing a podcast later.
the
I'm
thing
going to
about
be recording my podcast later, and I'm talking about all the stores closing. On my list that I was given is a lot of stores are closing. Dollar General is closing. Those are Black jobs, y'all. Neiman Marcus.
Yeah.
Those
I'm
are
not
Black
even talking about the
jobs.
retail. The thing about it is, right, the majority of Black people work for the government, whether city or state.
Yeah, very true.
Okay.
Or retail management.
And then you have the retail jobs. I'm specifically talking about the positions that we have taken on when we're going to get our degrees. They keep talking about how how we outpacing all these different cultures and stuff like that as far as degrees and stuff. But what we're getting our degrees in and going out there and getting jobs in is under attack. They talk about the federal government. Yeah, you may not work for the federal government, but then where the federal government's funds trickle down to is at your door. I literally would write RFPs and grants for different organizations. That's part of what I've done for a living. And I remember when I used to go to this community center, this white lady. I talk about white privilege in a second because she didn't have her degree. She was lying about it, but that's beside the point. She used to write the grants. And when she went up there on Facebook, as soon as I heard that, I said, "Oh my God!" I saw the whole panoramic view of what was going on, right? And she said to all of my people in nonprofit, and you'll be surprised. Put it like this: IKEA is a nonprofit. Look it up.
Oh, you said IKEA?
IKEA is a nonprofit.
Oh, right. IKEA is German owned. It's German
IKEA is a nonprofit. You think that's a retail store? That is a nonprofit organization.
Right. And it's not, and it doesn't belong to America. And right now, America only wants America location. That's why you see a lot of the people leaving. And the stores that are leaving aren't necessarily closing forever. They're just revamping in other countries. So we are losing a lot of that. Will you have a job? Sure. But you may have to be willing to take that company you work for forever and go work in another country for that company. Like, you get what I'm saying? That's when everyone has to get out of their stuck in their ways. Like, you may have to consider doing something different.
If I had known, my job was really corrupt, right? I left because I was like, I'm not going to have, it was literally I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not having blood on my hands. I worked with a population. I'm not, y'all doing too much. Y'all stealing the money. Clients are passing away. I got to go. Took a part-time job. I can't believe I'm looking for a job in this environment right now. A full-time.
Yeah, it's no joke.
Really, really wild.
No joke.
It's really no joke, So
it's real bad out there. And I think people need to continue to stay there.
Oh, this is so. Look at this, y'all. The whole show. And look, we got a super chat finally.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daryl. Shout out to you, King. We appreciate it. And we are about to finish because I don't know if y'all see it glitching on y'all side, but it's been glitching on my side.
Thing is a real thing.
Yeah, so they definitely want us to go. We talking
that 3-hour thing is a real thing. I see it every time.
Really?
Yes, and we like 3 minutes away from it. So shout out to Daryl. Let me get your love, Daryl. We appreciate you. I gotta start saying that we need these super chats. That's my fault. I got to talk it, and that was it. Thank you so much, Daryl. Let me give you some love, King.
Ain't got enough to pay the rent. Can we delay the bills? Another dollar getting spent, another day to chill. I can't afford to play it safe. I gotta make a deal. It's gotta be another way. A Cadillac DeVille.
Hey, all right, that's what's up. Thank you, Dad. We appreciate you, King. Next show, I'm gonna need some super chats because I forgot when I tell you I just got into talking. And this was a good show. We did not stay on topic, but this is a very good show. You know what I'm saying? We put some gems out there. Sometimes we just gotta talk to each other and give the information. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let it rock. You know what I'm saying? Everything. I ain't editing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I must say that pink is your color. And I love the bang.
I love the bang. Yeah. I love that.
Thank y'all. Appreciate that. Look at the sisters giving each other love.
Yeah. That's right.
If you have not, you know what? Where are the candles? If you haven't, go get those candles. Get her candles.
Oh yeah, yo, yes. Tell her, D.
Get those candles.
Get you some candles, guys.
No, it's right here, honey. It's right here. Yeah, get the candles. Get the candles.
Yes. I gotta put up her because they did a whole commercial for me, and she was showing the candles. It is beautiful. I definitely want to use it to show y'all because she actually got I had a 2 candles special. Did 2 candles for 2 for $25. And she actually got it, and they love the candles. Like,
we love it. Yeah, let me show you how we love it. Okay. My model, right? So here's the first one.
Yes,
that's beautiful.
Gone.
It's y'all been burning it. Everybody
all day long, right?
Yeah,
and then
that's right.
I can't wait for this one. It's so pretty.
That's beautiful.
Let me see if they can see it. I know y'all can see it. I'm gonna put you up.
And look at that. The presentation, everything. It's so pretty.
That's the candle, y'all. That is
so pretty.
It's like an island flavor. I think that's the strawberry one, though.
Yeah, this is the ecstasy.
The island ecstasy.
Website?
Told me just to call it strawberry. It's a strawberry.
Yeah, this is gone.
But that was a velvet rose.
That's right.
That's a sexy scent right there.
I love how this right here, the container I can repurpose. So
yeah, you can use it again. And
so you have a website.
You can use it again. Yeah. Yeah.
You have a website.
Very good tins, y'all. Very good tins.
Yeah, these are sturdy tins. Yeah, they're good. Yeah,
really
I was already thinking about my rubber bands.
Gorgeous. Do you have a website, Evo?
Yeah, these are
yes. Y'all can go to it's UniqStarEnt.com. UNIQ.
And look at the size; those are good sizes.
Yeah, that's a 9-ounce container. So I gave her for $25. She got more than a pound of candle wax, which is unheard of.
To say it again, Unique.
It's unique. It's UNIQ, STARBRAND.
I love it, and it burns so pretty. I like a pretty burn.
Thank you.
Your wicks are sturdy. Your wicks are more sturdy than Kirkland's. Your wicks are more sturdy than Yankee Candle.
That's right.
I'm serious, y'all. Look at that. You know Yankee Candle wick be gone.
No, I'm just gonna get onto this doggone site.
Not to mention, one of them things is like $25.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. And we doing a special. I was telling y'all, I was just so glad that y'all liked it. Because when I tell you, I work on them candles so hard to make sure they burn right, to make sure they smell good throughout. Like it is a challenge. But when I tell you, when people get them and they actually like them, it's like everything was worth it.
And really, honestly, that part being able to see,
and those are real roses, guys.
The wax turns clear and everything, so it just gives it a real pretty appearance. Yeah, like see-through.
Thank you, Queen. I appreciate it.
I love it. You know, I'm coming back. I'm trying to get all the colors. So
yeah, it's over 20 candles up there. So y'all, we got aromatherapy, we got pastry candles that smell like food. Yeah, and desserts and cookies. You
got an oxtail candle? No, sir. I said you got an oxtail candle.
You know the funny thing is, you ever smelled
I like
everything bagel? You know how I used to do the BLT? You know I made that for somebody at my job.
Really?
Just by the scents. Yeah, if you tell me what scent you want, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get your oxtail. I don't know about that. But certain things I can't get y'all depending on what y'all want.
Yeah, you play around with the scents.
Yeah. So awesome. I'm like a real candle maker, a real champion.
I love it.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, you guys. It's hot today.
Let me see. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you. Because when I tell you, I talk to y'all and I be forgetting. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Get it, Queen.
Thank you for the love. I so appreciate that. Let me give you something else, Stephanie.
Ain't got enough to pay the rent, can we delay the bills? Another dollar getting spent, another day to chill. I can't afford to play it safe, I gotta make a deal. It's gotta be another way, a Cadillac DeVille.
Yeah, that's becoming my song.
That is really a good song.
Yes. And again, guys, that's Unique Star Brand. UNIQ. That's how I spell unique. Unique
do you have something
with, huh?
Do you have something with sandalwood?
Actually, I do. Actually, I do. How do I get in touch with you? Because I can tell you which one to look at.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
More than 2 of them have the sandalwood in it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Become very popular. Yeah, it's coming. I even have a candle that smells like coffee. That is amazing.
I love
it.
coffee.
Smells just like when you walk into Starbucks and you get that coffee and that sweet. I just made it. It took a long time to blend, but I got it. I finally got it right. If you like that sort of thing.
It definitely is a science. I thought about it. I was like, this is a lot of work. I gotta wait till I get to a certain temperature. I said, hold on now, forget it. It's a lot. It's a lot of.
It is. I bet it is a lot of work. Yeah.
Thank you so much, D Shows. I appreciate you.
No, you're welcome. I want to be consistent and like I said, keep all the colors coming. I want to have all the colors because I fell in love with the 10.
And if you like that sale, you can get that sale as much as you want. Like, okay. Yeah, I think because that sale, people really like that sale. So I'm gonna try to, I also got bigger candles too, like it's like the 17 ounce.
For the larger rooms, yeah.
Like when you really like one and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get it to where, if not, then if y'all like buy more than once, I'm gonna try to give y'all a little discount coupons and stuff like that. Just to, I'm saying for my customers, the ones that I'm
gonna inbox you on Instagram because I'm asking.
You got me on Instagram, T Lounge? You do?
I think so. I don't know if
follow you, right? Please make sure I follow you.
I'm following you on TikTok.
I don't know if you follow me or not, but I'm a inbox you. At least I get one inbox in because I got some questions about the scents because I see 2 that I think I want, and I'm
okay. I got you. Yeah, as long as I follow you, I'll get it. And because I be trying to follow everybody back. But sometimes Instagram be hating on me. I don't know why they do that. They've been doing a lot of stuff to me. I'm shadow banned, right? On Instagram. Now they've been holding my 4,000 for a long time. I just got past that 4. I guess they giving me a little chance now. But I've been shadow banned for over 6 months. So I'm just like, Dad, they do not like me no more.
It's meta. But he said he fired that staff, you guys. So your likes and the algorithm staff, Meta fired. They no longer have that. So it should get better this year.
Numbers coming back.
It should get better this year. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll post more then. Because I'll be like doing that post and y'all don't see it is crazy. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I start posting more, definitely. Let me ask you, ladies, do y'all want to do the last we gotta do the last the Dear Ladies. Because this is live, ladies. This is Monday. We might be able to get away with it.
Listen. As the night has gone on, my chest, as y'all could hear, I haven't been feeling that good. So
for your mucus, you need to get a spoonful of time to swallow it. Call it a day. Get rid of that mucus. I like to do niacin, you guys, because I follow a holistic doctor. But niacin and don't lay flat when you have that mucus.
Yeah. I've been sleeping like dang near in the L.
Yes, like sit all the way, sit up, and then to get that niacin in every day and get that thyme seasoning. Just like take a spoonful of it, just to get all that mucus out, because that whatever that is, that went around the nation. Like I don't know what that is but
where you get the niacin from?
I get my niacin. Well, we have HEB. I get niacin from HEB. But I don't know it's a grocery store.
It's a grocery store. Okay.
But be specific. Are they going to get the flush or non-flush?
It's all about your body. I wish I could tell people, but you have to know for your body how you flush or not. Yeah.
I have a toddy, but I'm gonna add the thyme to it because
I like to throw that thyme in on a potato and when I have that going on, because it gets rid of it like within 24 hours. It just kind of gets.
I'm gonna add.
Can you capsulize it, Miss D?
The thyme?
Yes.
I don't know. I wonder. Look into that. From season,
so just put them in a whole bunch of capsules so that you can have it.
Triple cap, yeah.
Yeah,
but I know
I didn't know.
I'm just gonna boil
it's for me, it attacks the mucus really fast. I came from a flight and I think I got sick on the flight, and I just felt like it just worked quick, so
the thing is I usually use apple cider vinegar, and I ran out, so and I didn't feel like I didn't get up to go to the store to get. I should have called Instacart.
It's starting to kick you all off, y'all. Y'all see it?
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Go ahead. You have the last words. You have the last words.
All right. I'll talk to y'all later.
Y'all want to do the last? Oh, you going? Okay. Y'all want
I got to lay it down. But y'all have a good
thank you. Hit me up, T Lounge. I hope you feel better, Mama.
Feel better, T Lounge.
All right. Thank you.
All right. All right, ladies, we can do this real quick because we got to do this, though. This is the show. All right, here we go, y'all. We starting. Dear ladies, before they kick us off.
You can know what I'm...
All right. Thank you, ladies. D Shoes, we're going to start with you, Queen.
Dear ladies, I just want us to remember that we all matter. Our stories matter. And let's make sure that we do a lot of self-care. I don't want us to live in a spirit of fear, but I do want us to stay completely aware. If you feel that you need to propose to him, I am going to just boldly say, I want you to reconsider who that person is, because I don't think that we should be proposing to him. But, to each his own. Dear ladies, take care of yourself 2025.
Thank you. Good job, D-Shells. I appreciate you, Queen. Good job. All right, Queen, go Stephanie.
Dear ladies, all right? You are made fearfully and wonderfully by God, and he has purposed a man to find you, which is a good thing, and to cover you. So let him cover you and propose to you and live. I ain't gonna say happily ever after, but just live together, respect one another. And that's about it, And like my sister said, if you feeling that desperate, it's probably time to consider or step away. Don't do it. Don't do it. In hindsight, you just might regret it. So we don't want to live life with more regrets. We want to make the best decisions, and letting a man pursue you and elect you as his beautiful wife, which you are, let him do so.
All right, good job, Queen. Thank you, both ladies. Y'all did a good job. Y'all look nice in the square. I will come here real quick because they acting up. They want us off. All right. So look, ladies, I think we have come to a consensus. All right, and I'm gonna be real straight and fast about this. No, don't do it. Like all the beautiful black queens done told you, do not do it. Let him propose to you. And if he's not proposing, he probably ain't the one for you. You may need to move on. But let me tell you something. We about to get into something real crazy, real bad. That's all I'm going to say. So make sure you pick a king and make sure that king going to ride for you and also take a bullet if he has to. You need a warrior. You need a mandingo warrior in your house. You need one that know that he love you and he going to ride for you just as well as you going to ride for him. Now's the time to build up the skills, also build up the pantry. You know what I'm saying? Get your stuff together, do the research. Do not go into this stuff stupid and blind, because that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? And we too strong of a people to walk into anything blind, especially now after we done seen all this stuff happen before us. Hey, let's get to it. Let's get smart, ladies. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself, you know what I'm saying? And protect yourself. Now's the time. Figure it out. I know you can do it. I love you, sis. And again, happy Women's History Month. Hey, it's all about us, like I always say. And I love you, Queen. Let me get down. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Figure it out.
Great show. Thank you, Queen.
I love it.
That's right. I couldn't do this without y'all. I love y'all. If I haven't said it, I love my queens. I think y'all are all beautiful. And this show would not go down without y'all. So everybody is very important. And I love you. You know what I'm saying? It's us. It's about the queens, the black, strong black queens. It's about us. You know what I'm saying? As long as we stick together, we gonna make it. You know what I'm saying?
We gonna be okay. We gonna be all right.
Yes. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all. Hey, the website is there. I'm still adding stuff to it, but y'all can buy these candles. I'm gonna be putting merch to it and everything. But right now, all them candles sitting there. You can read what the candles have in them and everything. Yes, I'm doing a promotion now. You got what I'm saying? Yes. Hey, these are candles and they good. I'm telling you, they are good. Go to UniqStarBrand.com. That's UniqStarBrand.com. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I'm gonna see y'all around. Instagram, you know I'm on Instagram. You have any questions? It's Evolution Era Media, all one word on Instagram. All right. So I answer
love you guys.
Answer. Make sure you did. All right. I need to turn customers.
Thank you, Yvonne.
For us. Now y'all gonna see either shows. Yes, thank you. I'm gonna make some of these shows up during the weekend, so y'all will see me on trying to make these shows stuff like that. Whether it's a Saturday or Sunday, but y'all gonna see me. I may do one tomorrow too. But I'm gonna work it out. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate to not do it. I just didn't do it. Yes, but we're gonna get it on. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna get it on and have some fun, right? Hopefully see you ladies there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit y'all up and let y'all know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all want to be a part. It should be fun, you know? All right. Yes. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you, Evolution. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Good night. All right.
I'm only needing one thing. Don't need the jewels and the pearls and all the things in between. I need a lot of your time, and I be needing attention. Need that next level love, boy. You know I'm feeling ascension. I'm feeling ascension. I see what we're missing. Put some clothes on, baby. Can we go to a dinner? Let's go to a movie for just us two. Let's make new memories between me and you. Pills, check. Beat, check. Run up the check, baby. Tell me what's next. Hey, love, check. Fun, check. One-on-one, baby, we needed this. It's a day night. Get dressed, let's get dressed, let's. It's a day night. No stress, no. No stress, no. It's a day night. Get dressed, let's get dressed, let's. It's a day night. No stress, no. No stress, no. Know you needed my time, and I'm needing you too. Fly me out to dinner, reservation for two. I can't even deny, I ain't even gon' lie, that you really got my heart. Tonight it's a whole vibe. Tonight it's about us, riding round Billy truck. Know they faces is stuck, unconditional love. Tonight we gon' make some memories, ain't thinking about our enemies. Pop out and we make a scene and drop about 300 beans. Hills, check. Beat, check. Run up the check, baby, tell me what's next. Hey, love, check. Fun, check. One-on-one, baby, we needed this. It's a day night. Get dressed, let's get dressed, let's. It's a day night. No stress, no. No stress, no. It's a day night. Get dressed, let's get dressed, let's. It's a day night. No stress, no. No stress, no.